This is a Buckeye Cable System sports presentation. It's a high school, the only televised game, and only on system. The high school football game of the week is brought to you by The Andersons, more for your home. Subway, eat fresh. Banner Mattress and Furniture, your hometown furniture team for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio. TAS Electronics, Toledo source for all your mobile video and car stereo equipment. ACP, the Alliance of Construction Professionals. Find out about the other four-year degree and build your future with us. All right, now take it away, guys.
Well, we didn't think we were going to be able to dodge the weather bullet the entire season, but it's football weather to be sure here at Anthony Wayne, but it hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the people who are coming in to witness the Anthony Wayne Generals hosting the Springfield Blue Devils. Hi, everybody. Welcome up to a dry broadcast booth we are proud to say here at Anthony Wayne. I'm Bill Clark along with Coach Tom Cole, and I know, Coach, these are the kind of games that you just love to play in, right?
Well, Bill, this is real football for real football players. A little cold, a little wind, and a little rain. It's
definitely football weather, and speaking of a real football player, we got one patrolling the sidelines as we always do. Let's go down on the field here at the Anthony Wayne General Field. Say hi to Jim Oswald. Ozzie, how's it going down there?
Excuse me, Bill, did you say it was dry in the press box? I didn't think I heard that.
Yes, it is.
We're doing pretty good, and we're looking forward to a good old-fashioned weather-related ball game tonight.
What about this, the way it goes, Ozzie, when it starts raining like this? Who has the advantage, do you think, the offense or the defense?
Well, I usually believe the defense, the offense, because they know where they're going. Tonight's going to be interesting because Springfield is a very quick, sprint-to-the-ball defense, and if you counter them, they could over-pursue the ball a little bit. So we'll see how the field holds up, and we'll see if Anthony Wayne's going to counter them or come right at them and throw the ball a little bit.
All right, Ozzie, we look forward to your comments coming up in just a little bit. You'll be talking to the coaches and some of the players, but this is also homecoming night here at Anthony Wayne, and as we mentioned, they do an awful lot of tailgating. As a matter of fact, our Keith Mooring is standing by with a couple of those tailgaters. Keith?
Thanks, Bill. I'm here under the tailgating tent at Anthony Wayne, and it is pouring outside, so we're staying dry in here. I'm with Les Disher, the president of the Alumni Association here at Anthony Wayne, and Pat Pilliard, the manager of National City White House. Lester, you've been president of the Alumni Association for a year now, right?
That is correct, yes.
And this is the first year this has been here?
Yes, this is the first year that we've had this tailgate party on campus. We had decided at the beginning of the year when we had some of our regular meetings that we would like to have a tailgate party for one of our home football games this year. And we knew that National Bank and White House had been doing this for about 10 or 12 years. And so we kind of put our heads together, and they decided to cooperate with us, which was a very nice gesture on their part, in bringing all this to the campus.
Yeah. Good touch getting the sloppy joes with the hot dogs.
Yes, very
you ever
nice.
have one of those with the sloppy joe?
Oh, it's great.
Oh, no one's going to want to sit next to me in the production truck later.
As long as you have the onions, you'll be all right.
You got to have the onions. Onions and ketchup. Now, Pat, you've done this at a whole bunch of different schools, correct?
Swanton. We've done it last few years in Swanton, and White House has done it for about the last 10 years up in their parking lot, and it's worked out pretty well. And this year, the alumni wanted to bring it out here, and it worked well at other branches. We thought we'll try it out here.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the rain, this would have worked out real well. Why go to all this trouble to do this?
Because this is fun. I mean, you get out here and meet the kids, do something for the kids, meet their parents. Everybody wants to go to the football game, and it gives you a chance to get together beforehand. White House is a great community. It's a great school system, and it gives us the opportunity to give something back to the community that that they've given us all the time. So
yeah. All right, now I have a proposition for both of you guys. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, my intramural flag football team has a game. Now, what would it take to put something like this on for our guys before the game?
Well, first thing we need to ask you is we want dry weather, sunshine, no rain, and a huge tent.
Well, we could just take this one. I'll talk to Blizzard Bill over there. He might be able to give us some dry weather, but I doubt it. But anyway, all right, we'll iron out the details later. No big deal. But for now, back to you, Bill.
Keith, thanks so much. We appreciate it. I'm going to hold on to Cole here because I don't want him going to the tailgate show and missing the entire game. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go back down on the field. Jim Oswald had a chance to talk to both of the coaches and some of the players who will be involved in a football game to great extent tonight. It's the Anthony Wayne Generals hosting the Springfield Blue Devils, and we're back with all of that as the pregame show continues right after this.
The Andersons, more for your home.
Get ready now for the cold weather ahead during the Andersons winterizing days. There's a quality Owens Corning insulation for every project, a weather-tight Anderson window to fit every opening, and a heater for every size room. Save on window kits, caulks, and weather stripping, all at guaranteed everyday low prices.
The Andersons, more for your home.
Welcome back to Buckeye Cable System High School football. We're on the road at Springfield High School with Coach Phil Demars of the Springfield Blue Devils. Coach, this week you load up the bus, head over to Anthony Wayne. It's their homecoming. They've played the two present leaders of the league very well. You guys are in league contention. You're in playoff contention. It's got to be an exciting night to play some high school football.
Oh, I think it'll be a great night. It's always been a battle with Anthony Wayne over the last 4 years. 2 of those games were decided by 1 point. So we're expecting a great football game on Friday night.
Coach, you pride yourself on defense this year. They throw a couple things at you. First they throw the wing tee, then they'll spread it out. What are you looking for from them?
Boy, I don't know. I wish I had a crystal ball because they do a lot of things to put pressure on a defense. They can run the ball, and they've got a great quarterback and a nice receiver. And they put a lot of pressure on defense, and they've scored a lot of points this year.
So far into the season, we're past the halfway mark. What are your strengths so far?
Well, I think our strengths are still our offensive line, and I think our team speed on defense. We've started to throw the ball a little better. We've improved in that area, and our running game has been solid all year. So those are our strengths.
And what are the things you're still working on as your season heads to the last half?
Well, we had some problems in our pass defense against Southview that we hope we've straightened out. So we want to improve in that area and really just not lose the things that we do well.
What are the keys to victory this week?
Well, I think the big key is limit big plays by both teams. I think Anthony Wayne has to limit our big play capability, and I think we have to limit theirs and make both teams earn it. And I think that's the kind of game it'll be, oddly enough. I think we'll have to sustain drives. The team that sustains those drives is going to win, I think.
Coach, we wish you good luck. We thank you for taking time out and talk with us.
Okay, thank you very much.
When we come back, we'll talk to a couple of Blue Devils as we continue on the road at Springfield High School. Back to Buckeye Cable System High School football. We continue on the road at Springfield High School. I'm with Taylor Taube and Rick Gonzales of the Springfield Blue Devils. Taylor, this week the Anthony Wayne Generals, the foe, they're coming off a tough loss to Southview. There'd probably be nothing better than they like to do is to knock you guys off your contention still to win the title. Is that providing any motivation for the team?
Yeah, I'm excited that we're playing Anthony Wayne this week. We usually have a good game with them. Past 2 seasons come down a couple points, and whenever we play them, it's always been a good game, and everybody gets up for it.
On the offensive side of the ball, how are you looking to attack their defense?
Well, they run the 4-4, and we're looking just to run the ball like we do all the time, just smash mouth football in your face.
Thank you. Rick, on the defensive side of the ball, what are the Blue Devils looking to do to stop the Generals?
Well, first off, we got to stop the trap. I believe they're averaging 10 yards a carry on that. We definitely have to count for Sadowski and Kramer, especially in the spread offense. In the wing tee, we run the wing tee. The guards will take it to the ball. We just got to execute.
You guys got one league loss. You're still in contention for the title. You're still in contention for a playoff spot. It's like every game from here on out is a playoff game. Does that keep you guys focused?
Yes, Coach has been reminding us of that since the beginning of the season. Treat every game as a playoff game, even though it's not one game elimination. Because if we treat every game as a big game, then we won't come in scared. We won't come in unfocused.
Guys, we appreciate your time. We wish you good luck. And when we come back, we'll head over to Anthony Wayne High School and visit with the Generals.
Spike, get out 2 yards in front of them. On your path, all right? Don't get your feet. Come right in front of them 2 yards. Right. Good. Yeah. 2 yards in front of the foot. You went block. Rush in front of them. You went rough in the corner.
Oh, there are super specials on solder furniture at Banner Express today. Entertainment furniture for every size TV. A home theater wall system for giant screen TVs, $398. Beautiful cherry entertainment wall, $298. Stylish shaker bedrooms, 4-drawer chest, $88. Twin size bookcase headboard, $48. No time to assemble it yourself, we'll do it. Spend a little time, not much money, for solder furniture at Banner Express. Our Monroe Street location will save you money.
Welcome back to Buckeye Cable System High School Football. I'm Jim Oswald. We're in White House, Ohio at Anthony Wayne High School with Coach Craig Smith of the Anthony Wayne Generals. Coach, a tough loss last week to Southview. Springfield comes calling this week. They're still in title contention. You guys are not out of it yet. Are you using that as some motivation going into this week?
Yeah, I mean, I think Springfield's 6-1 right now, and we're right there too. I mean, for playoff race, this is a big game for both teams.
Coach, you run the wing tee and the spread offense, both very difficult to defend. What do you plan on using against Springfield, mixing it up as you have been, or are you going to go after that tough defense a little differently?
We'll probably mix it up and see what works, but probably try to pass the ball quite a bit tonight.
Coach, what are your weaknesses this far into the season?
I think our biggest weakness is a little bit inconsistent. We make a couple mistakes here and there in each game. We lost some real tough games, and they seem to hurt us at a big time, a big moment. So hopefully we can overcome that and get a little more consistency.
And what are you looking at as your strengths as we head down the stretch?
I'll tell you, our run defense has improved, and Springfield has a very good running game, so that should be a good challenge for us. And really our offense has moved the ball all year. We've scored a lot of points. We just need to be consistent throughout the entire game.
Coach, we appreciate you taking time out. We know it's homecoming, and we wish you good luck. And when we come back, we'll talk to a couple of the Anthony Wayne Generals who'll be doing battle on the field.
Say go.
Wow, somebody's letting go today.
It's okay. I had Subway for lunch.
Subway, delicious low-fat sandwiches, so you can feel good about being good and okay about being bad.
It's okay. I had Subway.
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
Welcome back to Buckeye Cable System High School Football. I'm Jim Oswald. We continue on the road at Anthony Wayne High School. I have a couple of the Generals with me. I have Jason Sadowski and Jordan Pingle. Jason, this week going into Springfield, what's the offense plan to do to attack the Blue Devils?
We have a plan on going more pass. They have cover 3, 4-4, so I think it has a better opportunity of moving the ball down the field.
You think you're going to mix in the pass with the run, or are you going to throw the ball a little more than you normally would?
I'm assuming that we're going to pass more and follow up with the run in case we need it.
Springfield has one league loss. You guys aren't out of it yet. Chance maybe to knock them down, continue on your roll, maybe get in the state playoffs, even an outside shot at the title. Is that throwing a little motivation this week?
Of course. It's always good to have motivation, and that's what we're working for the whole year, is getting the playoffs in contention with the league championship. So it's a lot to work for, and we hope we can get there.
Thank you. And Jordan, defensively, what are the Blue Devils, are you seeing from the Blue Devils that the Generals plan to stop this week?
Well, they like to run the ball a lot, and we're focusing mainly on just stopping the run and getting pressure on the quarterback when they do pass. So.
What type of offense are they lining up in that you guys are looking to shut down?
Well, mainly they just have double tights, and they run basically the same type of offense we do.
So you should be familiar with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, good luck, guys. And when we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff from Anthony Wayne High School as the Springfield Blue Devils come to visit.
Welcome back, everybody, to Anthony Wayne High School. Tonight, the Springfield Blue Devils bring their 2-1 record in against the Anthony Wayne Generals. They're 1-2, and welcome back to the broadcast booth, everybody, as the teams start to come back onto the field after they've gone through a rather soggy warm-up, Thomas. And does that change the flow of their warm-up when they have to dodge raindrops like this?
Yeah, it always does, Bill. I mean, you know, it gets you thinking that the ball is going to be wet. Handoffs, receiving, things run through your mind. It definitely impacts you.
All right, let's check on the field. Jim Oswald standing by. Ozzie, a little slushy down there, you think?
Well, I went out of the field before the game, and certain areas are squishy. Others have drained pretty well. It is still raining. The wind's still blowing, and we'll have to see if the rain continues to dampen the field, but there are some squishy spots in it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ozzie, it's not going to dampen the spirits of the people who have come out to tonight's ball game. The tailgating is at Evidence big time, and our Keith Mooring has caught up with a couple more tailgaters. Keith?
Thanks, Bill. I am here with Josh, Kelsey?
Casey.
Kelsey. Yeah, you guys switch spots on me. All right, I got to know, do you guys have if you guys win, are you going to do like a victory dance sort of thing?
Well, I'll scream.
That's boring. I gotta have a dance.
All right, we'll dance.
Okay. Josh, you got to dance?
No.
You want to dance?
No.
You don't want to dance? I can show you a dance. The ladies love to dance. Come on. Do you want to dance? Okay. All right. Here, hold my mic. All right, this is my winning victory dance. You all have to memorize it, and I want to see you all doing it at the end of the game. Okay? Okay, hold this. You think you do that? All right, do it. I want to see you do it. Yeah. That's the one. Your turn. Oh, Kylie? Kelsey, sorry. Kelsey's got to do it too. You guys got to do it together. That's the one. That's good stuff. Now, I want to see. Can you guys all do it? You can even throw in your own dance moves if you want. Do it. Let's see it. Let's see it. You guys be the judge. Tell me if you like it. Do it. Let's do it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. If you guys win, I want to see you doing that dance. If you don't, I'm gonna be very upset. Okay. What's your name?
Jason.
Jason. Okay. All right. That's it from down here. Back to you, Bill.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. We appreciate that. I don't ever want to see you try to do a dance like that. I'll buy all your food at the tailgate if you promise never to do that dance.
Nor does Northwestern Ohio, Bill.
I'll tell you, tailgating is what high school football is all about, but this is also a very special night for Anthony Wayne because this is homecoming night, and our Katie Horn is down on the field with the court. Katie?
Thanks, Bill. We're here again tonight. It's another wet night and another special night here for Anthony Wayne's homecoming. And Keith, what are you doing down here? You were over there warm in the tent a little bit ago.
Well, I saw that it was raining, and I figured this would be a good way to score some points.
Okay, then. Well, we'll be back a little bit later in the first half to introduce you to Anthony Wayne's homecoming court. Back to you, Bill.
All right, Katie, thanks so much. Up in the booth, I'm Bill Clark along with Tom Cole. And Tommy, before we get to the kickoff tonight, a quick look at both of these teams.
Well, you know, they're similar. It's kind of a mirror image. They both run form of the wing tee, which we see very prevalent today in high school football, and they both throw the ball pretty well, and so they're kind of similar looks, quite honestly, Bill.
It'll be interesting. Springfield comes in at 2-1. Anthony Wayne comes in at 1-2, so we are ready for the kickoff. Anthony Wayne deferred, and they will be kicking off, and Springfield will be receiving. Rain still continues to fall here, and the kick is going to be taken, bobbled, but picked up at about the 18-yard line, and Vetter has the carry, and he brings it back to about the 25-yard line, and this game is underway. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the starting offense for Springfield. Craig Mossing, one of the wide receivers. Chris White also, he's the Z back for the Blue Devils. Steve Harvey will be calling things. Taylor Taube, one of the better running backs in the Northern Lakes League, he'll be getting the call an awful lot tonight. They'll run that wing T, Thomas, and you might want to explain that to what people are going to see tonight.
Yeah, we will. It's double tights, double wing, and the guards pull and the runners follow them, and it's awful tough to defend.
Now here comes Harvey. He keeps it himself, and he's got some running room, and he's going to be going down the races. He's got to beat one man, and he's not going to make it. It is a touchdown for Anthony Wayne on the very first play of the ball game, a 75-yard touchdown run, and Anthony Wayne quickly goes up 6-0 with the extra point coming. Springfield, I beg your pardon. Springfield, Steve Harvey goes all the way. Well, I tell you, that's you cross up the defense right off the get-go, and all of a sudden Harvey's got 75 yards in his pocket.
Partner, that's a pretty nice way to start the ball game. A little dive option here, Billy. Now watch, you get the lead, little turnout block there, and Steve heads for the goal line, taking it to the house. Your magical charts, Billy, number 12 for Springfield.
That's Craig Mossing.
Made the last block that allowed Steve to go to the house, and Craig did a great job on that block.
Brandon Kramer tried to run him down, but Steve Harvey had just a little too much head of steam. The extra point is good, so just like that, we have played 20 seconds in this ball game, and it is Springfield 7 and Anthony Wayne nothing.
Well, if you're an offensive coordinator for Springfield, partner, you feel pretty good about your first call.
Absolutely. What a way to start the ball game. It's homecoming, as we said, for Anthony Wayne, so we'll see how Craig Smith rallies the troops. But, boy, I tell you, you can't ask for a better way to start a ball game. A 75-yard run by quarterback Steve Harvey, and Springfield goes on top with the extra point. And I'll tell you, 20 seconds in the ball game, you are right. If you're an offensive coordinator,
you're feeling pretty good,
yeah,
Billy.
I'm thinking right now things look pretty good.
Go out and get a lotto ticket tonight, possibly. It must be your day. It was a perfect execution of the dive option, Billy.
I don't think you'll see a much better scoring drive than that right there. Man, oh, man, right off the get-go. So Craig Mossing will kick off now. And back to receive for the Anthony Wayne Generals. It'll be Holland, Persinger, and Vetter. Just underway from Anthony Wayne. People have not even settled into their seats, and they've already missed the first score of the ball game. Rain continues to fall. And a squib kick that gets by Kramer, but Persinger will pick it up at about the 6. Looking for some running room, and he's going to be plowed under at about the 18. Let's meet the Anthony Wayne General offensive unit. Big front line right there, 223 pounds on average. Brandon Kramer, he's kind of like the do-everything player for the Anthony Wayne Generals. Jason Sadowski back as quarterback. We saw him last year. Brad Verbosky had a huge game against Central Catholic earlier this year, and there you see Craig Smith in his 5th year, or check that, his 7th year at the helm at Anthony Wayne. So things get started on the 18-yard line as Anthony Wayne a little shell-shocked after that very first play off the get-go, and Persinger gets the call and will fight his way for maybe a half a yard, but get a little bit more east-west instead of north-south running there, Thomas.
Well, Bill, you get a great shot from the truck, guys. It was coming down pretty good out there.
There's the defense that Springfield will put on the field, and we'll introduce you to the Anthony Wayne defense the next time Springfield gets the ball, because they didn't have a chance to do it this time. Harvey going both ways for Phil Demars. And here comes Sadowski, loses his footing but stays on his feet. Gets away from a couple tacklers and gets up to about the 21-yard line. So that'll make it 3rd down and about 8 yards to go for a first down for the Anthony Wayne Generals. Jason Sadowski comes in at 75 completions, 121 yards attempted. 121 attempts, we should say, 1,109 yards.
Well, Billy, this is I'm sorry, it's double tights with a wing, and they fake a little tray action and boot out, and Jason does a good job just trying to get some positive yardage out of a play gone bad.
All right, here we go. Big 3rd down play coming for the Anthony Wayne Generals. They trail 7-0. Here's a crossbuck, but they fumble in the backfield. They battle for the football, and Springfield comes up with the biscuit. Number 24 for Springfield, Maurice Hawkins falls on the football, and that's going to happen, Thomas, I would assume, with a lot of crisscross and a lot of hands off. That ball is slippery.
No question, Billy. Double tights with the wing, and we've seen it quite frequently, the double reverse out of the wing tee. And, there was a little collision with the quarterback, Jason Sadowski, and the running back, and you got a wet ball. That's going to be difficult tonight to handle the ball that way.
Well, so now we'll see if Springfield can dent the scoreboard again. Steve Harvey already, if you just joined us late, you missed already one score, as Harvey went 75 yards in the very first play of the ball game for the first score. And he's going to keep it again, but this time he's going to be run out of bounds. Good pursuit right there by the Anthony Wayne Generals to come in and make the tackle for the Generals was Matt Gruenwald, a 6'1", 178-pound senior, plays monster back for the Generals.
Well, Billy, the offensive coordinator for Springfield, thought that the play was pretty good the first time. So we ran it again a second time out of a little different formation. It's just a dive option. Steve catches or keeps the ball. You run into the short side of the field, though, Billy. It's tougher to execute.
So second down right now and 13. And the give is to Taylor Taube. And Taylor gets him a couple of yards forward, gets it up to about the 18-yard line. So that'll make it third. Almost back now. They're marking it the original line of scrimmage. We'll take a look at some of the beef up front as we show you the line comparisons. And a little light for both defensive lines, Thomas.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, Billy, I'm always impressed when we come out and do these games with Springfield and Anthony Wayne. And the kids block well. I mean, they just move well and they block well. They have excellent offensive line coaches.
Taylor Taube in the backfield, only setback. Now Hawkins will go in motion. Third down and 10 from the 18. Quick pass inside, and they say nope, it was broken up. Good defense right there. Number 21 for the Anthony Wayne Generals came in to break that one up. That's Brandon Kramer. And as we said, he's kind of like the do-everything player for Anthony Wayne. Plays a little offense, plays a little defense. So now it's going to be time for an opportunity for a field goal. And once they place the ball, we will tell you how long that field goal will be, as you'll see the pass come up just a little bit short.
Yep, little Kansas City half roll left, and Steve dropped his arm down. You see how he dropped it down to his side? Not a good delivery. Needs to come over the top a little bit more to get rid of it quicker.
Well, the Generals have held. Now the Springfield Blue Devils will try a 35-yard field goal attempt. Craig Mossing gets it up, and it's no good. Drifts a little bit off to the right. So the Anthony Wayne Generals have dodged a bullet after the fumble recovery by Springfield on the Anthony Wayne 18-yard line. So now the Generals will take over on their own 20 for their second offensive series of the ball game as they trail by a score of 7-0.
Billy, you pointed out the lack of weight in the offensive lines for both teams. And quite honestly, they run similar offenses, and the reason they're light is because they ask the guards to pull so much. They've got to move and block downfield so much that the heavier fellows don't fit into that scheme.
Kramer and Persiger flanked way to the left. Things get started on the 20-yard line for Jason Sadowski and the Anthony Wayne Generals. And the give is to Verbosky, and he's going to plow his way forward up to about the 25-yard line, so it'll be a 2nd and 5 coming for the Generals. Brad Verbosky, 69 carries this year, 525 yards. And as we mentioned in the open, he had a big ball game against Central Catholic out here a couple of weeks ago. There you see Verbosky getting the...
Yep. Kind of stood him up at the end there, Billy. This kind of night, Billy, is tough. It's going to be a continual rain like this. It's going to be tough to handle the ball.
And I think the rain is starting to increase just a little bit. And this time they got Persinger going around the right end, and he's got some running room. Tries to dance along the sideline, but he's going to step out of bounds. And they're going to mark it at about the 34-yard line. So that'll be a first down for the Anthony Wayne Generals, their first of the evening, as the drive continues on a very soggy field here in White House, Ohio.
Well, Billy, you called it. I think it's going to be real difficult for teams to execute the offense. They're going to do the intricate ball handling tonight. That's what the wing tee is. And, boy, if this continues all night long, the ball's going to be laying on the ground a little bit.
But don't you think, Thomas, with all that handoff, at least they know where they're supposed to be going, and it's going to be a little tougher for the defense to pick it up?
Yeah, but it's not like just handing off straight leads and ISOs. There's pretty intricate timing involved in that, Bill. And and then when the quarterback slips or the running back slips and the timing's off.
Well, they went right to Brad Verbosky right there, but he went nowhere. Good defensive play right there as he stood up on the offensive line by Nick Johnson, 6'2", 250-pound senior. Let's go down to Jim Oswald. He's dodging the raindrops down there, Ozzie.
Hey, Bill, Tom, it is raining, but the wind's blowing too. Hey, I talked to both teams before the game. Each team brought 9 game balls, which is almost double what they normally bring, so they're going to make a real good effort to try to keep the ball dry, and it's kind of shaky right now at that because the rain is coming down pretty good, but they're doing the best they can.
3rd and 12. Thank you, Ozzie. We appreciate that. Sadowski hooks up with Brandon Kramer. He crosses the 45-yard line, dropped pretty much. They're going to mark it at the 47-yard line, so it will be another first down as the Generals are on the move.
Well, Billy, this is trips left with a spread, and Jason Sadowski does a great job. Authoritative drop, trips left with a spread. Watch his drop, authoritative drop, 3-stepper, and he gets somebody in a quick seam right down the middle, almost a skinny post. Good catch, good throw, great execution.
So the Anthony Wayne Generals knocking on the door. Little jump by the defense, but Springfield gets back. Here's Verbosky, finds a hole, has some running room, almost dragged down, and finally is drawn down on the ground at about the 36-yard line. So another first down for the Anthony Wayne Generals. A 15-yard pickup right there by Mr. Verbosky, and he is getting his running shoes on, Thomas.
Yep, he looks good. He runs north-south, Billy. I like that. You know, Ozzie's point about the football, Billy, is a good one. It's going to be the center and the quarterback tonight are going to go to the official on every play that the ball's wet, and they will actually make them dry the ball. If you notice, the official will put the towel over the ball a lot of times before they snap it, but it's going to be important tonight.
All right, so the drive continues for the Anthony Wayne Generals. Back-to-back long runs, get them 2 first downs in a row. And now Sadowski's going to roll out to the left. And it's picked off. Overshot his receiver, and it's going to be picked off by Rob Lemle, the 5'10", 170-pound senior, I beg your pardon. Second team All-NLL in baseball. 3.4 grade point average, and boy, I tell you, he had this play mapped out right away, and it looked like the ball might have sailed on Jason.
Yep, yeah, good call, Billy. Pro tight with a wing and faking the counter, and Jason rolls out. And, you know, we talk about it week in and week out, Billy. The toughest thing for young quarterbacks to learn is the pass that you don't throw is probably the most important one. What Jason needed to do is eat that, take it himself, or throw it into the cheap seats.
Matt Grunwald was the intended receiver in that particular play. So now with the turnover, the second turnover of the night for the Anthony Wayne Generals, the Springfield Blue Devils will go to work on their own 31-yard line. Here's Harvey to Taube again, and Taylor is going to pull his way forward to about the 35-yard line. So they'll give him about 3.5 yards on that particular carry, so that will give it second down and about 7 to go for a first down for Springfield. And Billy, I would assume turnovers are going to play real big tonight, Thomas.
Absolutely. I need 62 on your magical chart for Springfield.
Mike Bekier.
Mike Bekier. Mike was assisting the runner on that play. Did you notice that? Mike, you can't do that. You know, you got to block him, but, you know, you can't assist him.
He almost to the point where I thought he was yanking so hard he might almost pull the football.
I thought he was taking the ball away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He almost took the football away. So, all right, Mike.
It's enthusiasm.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, as long as it's a great play until you get caught.
Yeah.
Here, Harvey's going to keep it again. This is the play that got him the touchdown, the very first play of the ball game, and he's run out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 46-yard line. So that'll be a first down for the Generals, and the clock will stop with 6:17 to go here in a very soggy first quarter. Nice play right here by Mr. Harvey.
Well, it's a great shot from the guys, and Billy, you called it. It was a dive option, the same play that they scored on the first play of the game. And what happens is Steve does a nice job of putting that ball in the belly and riding that man into the line. Everybody commits to that guy. He pulls it out and runs with a lead block.
How important is it for that?
Can't grab the ball,
right,
Billy. He's got to keep. That's a great call. He's got to keep him spread. He can't grab the ball.
Even
that's
though
the key.
He may want to just.
He can't do it on the dive option. He's got to keep his arms spread and let him ride him in.
All right, it's a first down on the 46-yard line of Springfield. They lead it 7-0. And this time Taube gets the call, and he gets over the 45-yard line, maybe to the 46. So that'll make it second, and we'll make it 9.5 yards as the Anthony Wayne Generals are reading that play very well in the interior of their defensive line.
Billy, and I'll tell you, your question about the dive option is neat because when the option really started in Texas with Darrell Royal, what Jimmy Street, the quarterback, would do is he was actually read it. These plays are being called. To keep or not he'd read it, and the fullback would have to guess whether he's giving him the ball or not by the way he put it in his stomach. And that's how they did it. They actually read it that way.
You'd have to know your fullback pretty well right there, I would think.
I'll bet you do.
Jeez. Here's Harvey back to pass, and his pass is going to come up way short. Kind of short-armed that one, but he had a couple of generals in his face. Had a receiver open for a moment. Taylor Taube was down there, but did not get it close to him. So that'll stop the clock with 5:33 to go and make it a 3rd and 10 for the Springfield Blue Devils.
Well, Billy, all the synergy for Springfield in offense tonight is off of the dive option. They're doing everything off of the dive option. They got him a touchdown, a couple of nice gains, and now they do play action off of it.
Oh, you got 240 pounds on the offensive line for Springfield going up against a 200-pound defensive line for Anthony Wayne, so I would assume we'll give the quickness to the Anthony Wayne Generals, and the poundage gets to go towards Springfield. As Hawkins goes in motion, and again, Harvey steps back to pass. Slings it way across the field and out above his target. Rob Lemle was the intended receiver, and it was nowhere close.
Well, what Steve's going to have to learn to do, and he's a terrific athlete, Bill, and you called it I believe in the warm-ups you were looking at him too, is that he drops down sideways with the ball instead of coming over the top. When you drop down sideways, you turn the ball over, you flat-hand it, and it sails, and the ball sails on him a little bit.
All right, that means it's a punt time for the Springfield Blue Devils. Hans Vetter goes back to punt. Matt Persinger is the lone setback for the Anthony Wayne Generals. Clock stops with 5:28 to go on the incompletion. 7-0. Steve Harvey's 75-yard run on the opening play of the ball game got the only score of the game so far. And Vetter's punt is going to roll dead and be down at about the 30-yard line. We'll come back and get you more high school football on the Buckeye Cable System. 5:19 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Springfield over Anthony Wayne.
The Andersons, more for your home.
Get ready now for the cold weather ahead during the Andersons winterizing days. There's a quality Owens Corning insulation for every project, a weather-tight Anderson window to fit every opening, and a heater for every size room. Save on window kits, caulks, and weather stripping, all at guaranteed everyday low prices.
The Andersons, more for your home.
Brad Verbosky powers his way forward on the first play from scrimmage for the Anthony Wayne Generals. Gets up to about the 33-yard line. So that'll make it 2nd down and 7 for the Generals. And we've got Hans Vetter for Springfield on the ground. And he's going to roll over and get up. The trainers are coming out to take a look at him. Looks like he did something to his right leg. You'll see it right there.
Well, Billy, that was a wing tee with a quick fullback trap, and there wasn't a whole lot there.
So you see Hans Vetter heading to the sidelines. Or check that, Seth Nolan, I beg your pardon.
What a player likes about nights like tonight, Billy, where you got a steady rain, is A, you get your uniform dirty, and that's kind of neat. But B, what happens is as the field starts to deteriorate, you can't get traction, so nobody can get great hits on you because their feet aren't planted in the ground. So it's kind of a free night as far as knockout hits. You don't get any great hits on real wet nights.
There's Brad Verbosky with the call, and he's going to get across the 40-yard line. Very close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot. And we'll check out Seth Holland on the sideline. Seth, the son of the athletic director here, Paul Holland. We want to thank him for his help in setting us up here with our broadcast location and, of course, helping our crew set up as well, as you see Mr. Verbosky trying to get some hard-earned yards here at Anthony Wayne.
He runs over the top of his own guy, kind of like that. He's a hard runner. You know what's so tough about this wing tee, Billy, is that you have so much misdirection with the guards pulling, the running backs crossing. You get your keys mixed up. When you're on defense, you know, every defensive position has a key, and some people key the guards, some people key the running backs, and they cross. You know, you got your own guys running into one another.
Right.
And when you're in the defensive backfield and you see all these people moving back and forth, it is extremely difficult to find the ball.
Verbosky, 5 carries, 45 yards, according to our statistician, Tom Fitzgerald. Along with Jim Oswald, who's patrolling the sidelines. Tom Cole, I'm Bill Clark. Thanks for joining us here on the Buckeye Cable System. Our entire crew getting hazard pay tonight. in the rain, and we appreciate their efforts for sure, making sure you get all the pictures in tonight's sloppy conditions as Verbosky gets the call again, breaks away from one tackle, and then his gang tackle, and that's what Springfield does, Tom. They will gang tackle. I mean, you look at some of the numbers on their tacklers. Rick Gonzales has 93 tackles. Hans Vetter has 69 tackles. Andrew Tolson has 53, so everybody's going to the football as fast as they can. Now, does that disrupt the wing T offense when you've got 6 or 7 guys going toward the ball, or does that help the wing T?
It helps it. Yeah, it helps it because when you fake make the first fake, Bill, and everybody goes to it, and you give the ball to the second man through you, and you got somebody running deep into the secondary.
2nd down and 6 for Jason Sadowski and company. 3-step drop. There's a pump fake. He's going to head for Brandon Kramer and spins him around. He can't catch up with the football. The pass was intended for Brandon Kramer, and I'll tell you, Brandon Kramer is a special kid, Thomas. Not only is he a very good football player, he's also #1 in his class grade point-wise, 4.52.
Well, Bill, you know I've got senile dementia, but you correct me if I'm wrong. Last time we were here, Brandon had a Paul Horning day, as I recall. He did a little bit of everything. Caught, threw, ran, pretty much did it all. And
the only thing I'll correct you, it was these 2 teams, but we were at Springfield.
Okay,
but you're absolutely correct.
Okay.
Mr.
Well, I
Kramer
told you I had senile dementia.
Well, you had the,
I was in the ballpark.
Right church, wrong pew.
Yeah, there you go. Story of my life.
So the clock stops with 4:05 to go, and now Sadowski rolls right, and he's going to keep it himself. And he gets very, very close to the first down marker. It will depend where they spot it. Nick Johnson came up and made the tackle for Springfield, and now we'll see if the officials say, yeah, let's check this out, get the chains out.
Well, Billy, see how young kids learn? I love this in the quarterback position. This was the same play that Jason ran that he was picked off on just a second ago. He comes out on the boot, it's not there, and he doesn't force the ball. He keeps it and runs it, gets a positive gain, and allows his team to continue on in the drive.
You know, Springfield, one of their strengths is their great team speed on defense, and you can see that in evidence tonight, Tom. Even with the sloppy track, they are really doing very well getting to the football as fast as they can.
Well, and Ozzie, the old defensive guru, will tell you, Billy, defense is all attitude. It's want to, get to the ball, be aggressive. You never give up, and that's what defense is.
This is homecoming for the Anthony Wayne Generals, and they would like to get things back on a positive note right now. They trail 7-0 with 3:49 to go in the first quarter, the only score of the game. If you joined us late, well, if you joined us 20 seconds late, you would have missed it because Steve Harvey went 75 yards for a touchdown for Springfield. Here's Verbosky bouncing off people like a pinball and gets very close to the first down. They're going to mark it about a yard short, give him a 9-yard carry on that one. And I'll tell you, Mr. Verbosky, he's running like one of those runaway dump trucks you talk about.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, give Coach Smith a lot of credit. What they're doing here, Bill, is it's wide twins left. They're spreading out the Springfield defense, and they're running a straight dive with Robo, and he's too much man inside is basically what it is. Here you got the dive, and watch Robo hit in, and he just keeps going. He's tough to stop. Oh, boy, he's tough to stop.
Bouncing off a couple tacklers for Springfield. Here's Sadowski on 2nd and short, trying for Persinger, but throws it a little behind him and at his feet, and he realized he missed him because that's pretty much a free play, Thomas. When it's 2nd and 1, you might as well take a chance.
And that's a weather-related miss on that, and I'll tell you why, Bill. What they did is they spread the field, and they ran a quick seam. The scheme was right. It was there, but Jason couldn't get the ball out of his hand fast enough to hit the guy in the seam because it's a little wet.
And obviously Matt can't stop because he's going too fast and the track's
so
too
the
wet.
timing of it is off, basically, is what I was trying to get at.
All right, so here we go. It's 3rd and 1. So I would put my money, Mr. Verbosky might get a hold of this one here. We'll see. With short yardage to go, big defensive front for the Springfield Blue Devils, and Verbosky gets through the first wave. He almost got nailed in the backfield as Rick Gonzales got back there but slipped off him, and Brad went about 10 yards for that particular run, and another first down for Anthony Wayne. And this is right where they had their problem last time. They're at the 31-yard line, and that's where the pickoff was last time down.
Well, partner, you were in the head of Coach Smith. You made the call. That's exactly what they did. They gave it to Robo, straight-ahead dive play, and they used his power and his strength. He's a tough kid.
I tell you, Rick Gonzales, one of the best linebackers in the Northern Lakes League, read that so well he ran right by the play. He got in there so fast. So 1st and 10, the ball on the 34-yard line. And Seth Holland back into the ballgame. We're glad to see that. And I want to correct myself. Earlier I said it was Seth Holland who was hurt, and that was not the case. It was Hans Vetter. I should trust my first instincts. Pair of 10s. They got these blue whites and white blues. I'm going crazy. You think you got dementia.
I'm with you, partner. They just ran a straight boom play there, Billy. They doubled the tackle and kicked out the end, and Robo had a nice block on the kick out. So not only is he running well, but he's also blocking for his teammate.
And we're happy to report that Seth's opposite number, Hans Vetter, is back in the ballgame after he had that leg injury earlier in the quarter. So everyone is back. 2 minutes to go. Clock is running. 7-0 Springfield. Verbosky gets the call and plows his way forward for about 3 or 4 very hard-earned yards, and he's going to be about 2 yards short of that first down marker, which is at about the 23-yard line of Springfield.
Well, it's a quick trap, Billy. See the trap? See the trapper come out? The trapper got stuffed back a little bit. Great shot, guys. And Robo kind of got what he got on his own.
Andrew Tolson came in and, among others, brought Mr. Verbosky to the turf. Minute 30 to go in a running first quarter. 7-0 Springfield. The only down on the scoreboard, that 75-yard touchdown scamper by quarterback Steve Harvey on the game's opening play. Third and 2, Verbosky, automatic 2 yards, automatic 5 yards, automatic 10 yards on that particular carry right there. He's down at the 14-yard line. So Taylor Taube was the one on the particular tackle there, but we do have a flag on the play. We'll check that out as you see what happened on that last play.
Well, I need your magical chart, Billy. Number 3 for Anthony Wayne made a great lead block for Robo.
Matt Persinger.
Boy, Matt, that is the way to do it. Matt did a terrific job and allowed Robo to get a real positive gain.
Well, they're talking to Mr. Persinger right now, so it looks like Springfield is going to be the recipients of this particular penalty. And it's going to be a half the distance to the goal penalty. A inadvertent face mask was the call as they tried to bring Mr. Verbosky down, and I'm not sure yanking his face mask will even get him down, Thomas.
No, you might just get him mad, and he may hurt you more on the next play, quite
Absolutely.
honestly.
So, first and goal, the ball is at the 10-yard line. And here's Verbosky, steps around a couple tacklers, plows his way forward, gets down to about the 2-yard line as we break a minute to go here in the first quarter. Clock is running 55 seconds.
Boy, he's got legs. He's like tackling a couple of elm trees. I mean, you know, these kids at Springfield are trying to fundamentally do the right thing, take him low, but they're getting tree trunks. He's a big kid.
5'11", 205, and you see him right here.
Yeah, he's tough, boy. I'll tell you what, he's a hard runner.
Going to drop right inside your living room. 11 carries, 76 yards for that man right now. So it's second down and goal. We'll see if they get this off before the play clock, and they do get it off. The give is to Verbosky, and it's a touchdown for Anthony Wayne. A 2-yard touchdown run by Brad Verbosky, and who else? He did most of the work on that particular drive. And that is a touchdown, and we'll see what happens with the extra point coming.
Well, you know, Billy, when Bum Phillips used to coach the Houston Oilers, and they asked him, why did you give the ball to Earl Campbell all the time, and Bum would say, hey, they ain't stopped them yet. And I think it's the same thing with Coach Smith and Robo. You're going to keep giving it to them until they stop them, because they certainly haven't stopped them yet.
Colin Huber will attempt the extra point to tie this one up. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 12 seconds to go in the first quarter, we're knotted at 7 between Anthony Wayne and the Springfield Blue Devils.
High School students take art. If you would like to learn more about the Anthony Wayne Art Program, stay tuned for the halftime show.
75% of the kids here at Anthony Wayne are involved in the art program, and we're going to delve into that at halftime, so you'll want to stay tuned for that as we get ready to have the Anthony Wayne Generals kicking to the Springfield Blue Devils after that 70-yard touchdown drive ended with a 2-yard Brad Verbosky scamper. And this kick is going to go into the end zone, and Springfield will let it go that way. And so the Springfield Blue Devils with Steve Harvey will take things off on their own, starting on the 20-yard line.
Well, Bill, you know, this last drive by Anthony Wayne was an attitude drive, and by attitude drive I mean they punched him out up front and basically told him that told Springfield, this isn't going to be an easy night for you. You know, we're bringing our hard hat and lunch pail, and we're going to play all day. So it was a good drive.
There you see the numbers on that last scoring drive for the Spur Anthony Wayne Generals to knot things up at 7. 12 seconds to go in the first quarter. And the give is going to be to Taylor Taube. He's going to be met by Brandon Kramer and take a couple Anthony Wayne Generals with him. He'll fumble it out of bounds. And with 3.9 seconds to go, that's another first down for the Springfield Blue Devils.
Just a quick trap, Billy. See the trapper? Nice punch out there on the trap. A great camera shot, guys. A good leg drive. Just a quick trap. Well executed.
And it takes about 3.5 Anthony Wayne Generals, or I should say Springfield Blue Devils, Anthony Wayne Generals to bring Mr. Taube down, and they're going to let the clock run out. So that is the end of our first quarter, and it has been a scoring early and a scoring late first quarter. 75-yard touchdown run on the game's first play by Steve Harvey, and the extra point gave Springfield a 7-0 break, 7-0 lead, and then Anthony Wayne just moments ago tied things up at 7. We're back with second quarter action right after this.
I received this wedding gift from my husband's aunt, but I don't need a monkey lamp. I was extremely torn. I didn't know whether I should just keep the lamp or return it and risk hurting her feelings. So I asked myself, what would Jared do?
I would return the lamp. She really just wants you to be happy. Then I'd get a red wine vinaigrette club.
So, where's the lamp?
The Red Wine Vinaigrette Club from Subway. Eat fresh.
Hi, I'm Steve in the Banner Mattress Factory. My friends kid me about being in these commercials, but these little babies are the only stars around here. This is Toledo's largest mattress factory, which gives us quantity purchasing power to keep your costs low. Our crew is proud of the mattresses we manufacture, and our customers are pretty happy about being able to save a lot of money by buying direct. Listen, I'm no star, and this isn't exactly Hollywood, but it's a good factory with skilled craftsmen making a great product. Buy mattresses direct from Banner and save.
Tom.
High school football game of the week is brought to you by the Andersons. More for your home. Subway. Eat fresh. Banner Mattress and Furniture. Your hometown furniture team for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio. Taz Electronics. Toledo's source for all your mobile video and car stereo equipment. ACP. The Alliance of Construction Professionals. Find out about the other four-year degree and build your future with us.
Welcome back to second quarter action. 7-7 is our score with Jim Oswald and Tom Cole. I'm Bill Clark. Thanks for joining us on the Buckeye Cable System. Our entire crew doing a great job in the rain to give you all the color and pageantry of homecoming here at Anthony Wayne. Here's Steve Harvey looking for a receiver, and he's got Craig Mossing. Nice dance around, and he's going to step out of bounds. They're going to mark him at the 48-yard line of the Anthony Wayne Generals. A nice pickup right there, and Steve Harvey got smacked pretty good. Or check that, not Steve Harvey. We'll see who the injured Blue Devil is. And it looks like, I think it's number 20, which is Chris Smith. Chris White, I beg your pardon.
Well, I hope Chris is okay, but I'll tell you what, Steve gets a ton of accolades here, Bill, because he stood in the pocket, knew he was going to get hit, stood in the pocket as the rush was coming, very difficult for a high school kid to do, stepped into the ball, made a great sideline throw.
17-yard completion to Mr. Mossing, who came into the ball game with 9 receptions, 131 yards, getting about 15 yards per reception. As we said, that was Chris White, so congratulations. He is up. As you see, the standings in the City League in Whitmer, not surprising anybody anymore, 6-0, 3-0 in, how about Woodward? I'll tell you, they are something else. Henry Delp's doing a great job. And here in the Northern Lakes League, big showdown tonight. Maumee taking on Southview, and Springfield and Anthony Wayne trying to keep pace as best they can as the TAAC, just with one league game under their belt so far. 7-7 is our score. Ball on the 48-yard line. And, oh, I'll tell you, Matt Grunwald went in and he just smacked the ball carrier, Maurice Hawkins. Whoa, I'll tell you, there's one of those slobber knockers, Thomas.
Yeah, this is what this is just an ISO, and they bring a motion man around to get in position. But boy, this is just a great hit, Billy. That's a if you had a textbook tackle, if you were gonna make a film for a textbook tackle, boy, here it is. Matt Grunwald, is that right, Billy? I'm sorry. Thanks for the magical chart.
Yep.
Matthew, you just made a textbook tackle that they can cut out, splice on a film, and run for years here.
Here's Harvey after a couple play fakes and just off the hands, trying to get Taylor Taube, but just a little bit too high. And Thomas, is it because the ball is wet that both quarterbacks seem to have everything sailing a little bit?
Well, what happens when the ball is wet, Billy, if you don't have big hands, if you have smaller hands, you flat hand the ball, which means you turn your wrist over and you palm the ball, and that's why you don't have control of it because you're not coming over the top. It sails on you. What Steve does fundamentally when he comes out of the pocket on the boots or the rolls, he's not getting his shoulders turned parallel to the line of scrimmage, Bill, and that also is causing him to sail the ball. He's got to get his shoulders turned parallel to the line before he throws.
Now 3rd down and 8. Not very many long 3rd down plays in this ball game so far for Springfield, but they got one now. Here's a reverse. This is Chris White, but it's going to be snuffed out and dropped. Nice play right there. Kevin Chalucci came in. The linebacker read it just perfect. 6'3", 180-pound junior, and I'll tell you, he made a heck of a play right there. And not only did he force a punting situation, he forced a much longer punting situation, Thomas.
Billy, this is the Kenny Rogers call we always talk about, know when to hold him and know when to fold him. They've run that double reverse a couple of times, and you need to put it away because it's been scouted out pretty well.
All right, so here goes Hans Vetter, his second punt of the evening. Matt Persinger, the only deep back for Anthony Wayne, and a nice high kick up in the rain here. Persinger looking for it, and he catches it at the 21-yard line and trying to dance and decides finally to try to get some positive yardage, and he does. Gets it up to about the 33-yard line, so that's where Jason Sadowski and company will start this particular drive. Yoder Machinery Company, I know Terry Yoder's in the crowd, rain or shine. He is a huge supporter of the Springfield Blue Devils, and a pretty good crowd of Springfield Blue Devils as well. Yoder Machinery Company right over there in my old neighborhood off of Holloway Road, and Terry's a huge supporter of the Springfield Blue Devils, and that's what's neat about the Northern Lakes League, Thomas. We talk about it a lot with the City League. You got kids from all over going to school, except with the public schools, but when you get to the Northern Lakes League, it's town versus town, and it's too bad it's raining because I tell you, they put on a great show here at Anthony Wayne as Brad Verbosky is trying to put on a great show, but a flag is dropped by the linesman on the far side of the field, so we'll find out what that's all about.
And, Billy, I'm always impressed when we come to Anthony Wayne. The quality of the facilities here are sensational. This field can take a lot of water. It's in great shape. It's well manicured, well taken care of. The stands, the press boxes, everything is first class, and they do a terrific job with their facilities.
Well, in the season so far, in the first quarter, Springfield scores 21 points and allows their opponents 28. So obviously that's a little bit under control. But I tell you, in the fourth quarter, I don't know if it's whether Springfield gets tired or the other team gets a little bit second juice. But in the fourth quarter, Springfield normally averages about 48 points, and the opponents about 45. So a lot of points being scored by both teams near the end of the game. But we'll see if that's the case here with the weather. I'm not sure that will be the case tonight. So it's first down and 15 again, and this time Verbosky. He kind of reminds you of Doran Milletti. We saw him last week against St. John's, and Brad keeps his legs moving, and when his arm hits the ground, his feet keep moving. He doesn't necessarily go down, and a lot of times you see the tacklers go, okay, he's down, and he's still crawling because once, he can stay up until his knee falls.
Yeah, it's a good analogy, Bill. He reminds me of, quite honestly, build and looks and running style because he runs a little straight up in the air and he challenges tacklers. Zonka with the 72 Dolphins. He's got that straight-up power running position. I'd like to see him put a lead blocker in front of this kid and see what he could do.
Well, he almost begs the defense to come for it.
It's a come-on, tackle me style. Yeah. No question.
And this time it's Persinger, and he's going to reach across the 40-yard line, and he's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down, so that'll make it 3rd and short. And we'll see what Craig Smith and his coaches tell Mr. Sadowski he'd like to run.
Well, is it first name Matt?
Yep.
Matt's a tough kid. He aggressively caught that punt on the first or the last exchange. He blocks hard. He runs hard. He's aggressive. I like the way he approaches the game of football. He's a tough kid.
We had him on the football forum on Seaway earlier this year. A very smart young man as well. Jason Sadowski checking things out, making sure everybody's in their proper place. Might be changing the play at the line here, Thomas.
Yep, looks like it.
7:52 and running, and here comes Persinger again. He's going to fly over the defenders and get himself a first down. Boy, I tell you, you talk about aggressiveness, Thomas. I tell you, Matt wasn't necessarily tackled that way.
Yeah.
He just wanted to make sure he was going to get those 3 necessary yards for the first down.
Yeah, Matt plays the game of football the way it should be played. He's not leaving anything in the basket. He gives it to you 100%. That's neat to watch.
Well, I tell you, Thomas, you look at the rushers in this ball game. 5 out of the top 10 rushers in the Northern Lakes League are in this ball game. Taylor Taube and Steve Harvey for Springfield, and then, of course, Mr. Verbosky, Seth Holland, and the aforementioned Mr. Persinger, all in the top 10 in rushing here in the Northern Lakes League this season. And this time it's Verbosky who gets the call, and he's going to plow his way forward for about 3, so that'll make it second down now.
Billy, you mentioned the rushers, the reason they have, part of it is the style of the attack. The wing T creates that because you have so many ball carriers, so much misdirection. I can't tell you on a defensive end, Bill, how difficult it is to try and find the ball. I'm telling you spend half the night looking for the football.
Well, we'll see how Springfield does looking for the football here. Second down and 7, ball on the 47-yard line of Anthony Wayne. We're tied at 7, and this time Seth Holland's going to get the end around. He got flags on the play, as Holland maybe will pick up a yard, but we'll find out what the flags are in this particular case. Buckeye Cable System High School Football brought to you by Subway, Eat Fresh, and by the Alliance of Construction Professionals. Build your future with us and find out about the other 4-year degree. Give the ACP a call at 1-877-825-8714.
Well, Bill, this plethora of wing T that we see everywhere now, really the metamorphosis of it was back in Defiance High School. They started it about 16 years ago. They were running the wing T, and they were kind of by themselves. And now, gradually with the success they've had, other people have picked it up. And, we see a little bit of the wing T in most places that we go. And it's amazing that an offense that was prevalent in the 50s in football is now back relative and relevant in 2003.
Well, the penalty was against Anthony Wayne, but it was declined by Rick Gonzales as the captain of the defense for Springfield. So that'll make it third down and a very long 6 yards to go for Sadowski and company. Ball on the 47-yard line of Anthony Wayne. Sadowski, he's going to try to get the first down, and he does. Nice play right there. And that's a tough thing to do, Thomas, when you're the quarterback or for the defender, because the way Jason throws the football, if you commit to the pass, he's going to run right by you. If you commit to the run, he's going to stay back and pass.
And, Billy, you made the perfect call. That's exactly what it is. What they do is they run trips, they spread them out, they travel the trips down the field and remove the defensive backs. So the defensive backs are removed. And now really what Jason is doing is he's deciding to run right away.
Right.
And he's running against linebackers, not defensive backs, because they're out of the picture.
And you can see right there, Rick Gonzales, normally a very sure tackler. He leads the team in tackles. But that time he couldn't get his feet set because of the wet turf and slid right by. So there the offense gets the advantage, as Ozzie had talked about earlier tonight. So first down for the Generals as they're on the march. Here's Verbosky, who's doing a lot of marching tonight. He's going to be hogtied and wrestled to the ground. Nice play right there for the Springfield Blue Devils. Give credit to number 36, the aforementioned Mr. Gonzales. And I tell you, they call him Fearless, Thomas, and I would guess that if you keep the camera around him, you're going to see an awful lot of 36 by the football.
Well, the guys are giving us a formation look, and they're running a variation of this trips tonight. Now, the trips will move in tighter. They'll move in tight, Billy, and they'll move out and they'll spread them. But it is a basic trips package look. Thanks, guys.
5:20 and running here in the first half. Stay with us. We're going to find out about the homecoming queen at halftime, and we're also going to visit with some of the art students here at Anthony Wayne. As we mentioned, 75% of the kids are involved in some kind of art program. And I'll tell you, there's an artful play right there. Great defensive play. Number 62, Mike Bekier, got in there, and he sniffed out that, again, the Kenny Rogers play, Thomas. They tried to do the old
you got to know
around.
when to hold them and know when to fold them, Billy. And I love the play, but sometimes, you get too clever and you run it one too many times. And I think
we talked about Mike helping his own runner before.
Yeah.
Well, now this time he did the right job and helped his team by bringing the ball carrier down.
So they've run it too many times.
Now it's back to about 3rd and 10. Ball just maybe make it 3rd and 9 to play it safe. 4.5 minutes and running here in the first half. With Jim Oswald and Tom Cole, I'm Bill Clark, Larry Giacomon, our entire crew, and we want to thank them for bearing the elements this afternoon or this evening. Here's Sadowski, cross pass, and he's got Persinger. Nice play right there. Matt Persinger, they say he caught the football, and they're going to mark it at the 25-yard line, and there's that skinny post, Thomas.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, in the rain, throwing into the rain,
Yeah.
well, that was timed perfectly.
Yeah, and I can't tell you what a tough throw that is. It's a two-step drop, Billy, and Jason Sadowski stands in there tough. And, boy, that's just a great catch and a great throw with a wet ball. That's extremely difficult to do.
20-yard pickup by Mr. Persinger on that play right there. Jason Sadowski, the number 2 quarterback in the Northern Lakes League, and his opposite number, Mr. Harvey, well, he's number 6. So we got 2 pretty good QBs in tonight's ball game. Here's Verbosky, steps through the line, has some running room, and attracts some attention, as you would imagine. And coming in on the tackle, Rob Lemle is there, and getting off the bottom of the pile, number 32, Taylor Taube, the free safety. So a lot of the ball players in this ball game, Thomas, going both ways, and I would think with the slushy field, it might take a little bit more out of you by the time we get to the fourth quarter.
And, Billy, I played very little defensive back, as you may well imagine, but no guts. But I'll tell you what, when you're a defensive back and you see Robo busting through, you're not really liking what you see.
You're looking for one of those
Olays.
Yeah.
Give him the Olay tackle. He's a big kid.
So second down and make it a long 2 for the Anthony Wayne Generals. Ball on the 16-yard line, coming up to 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Brandon Kramer trying to get around the left end, and again loses his footing as he tried to cut back, and he's going to be down at about, looks like they're going to mark it at about the 11-yard line, and that will be a first down for the Anthony Wayne Generals.
Well, this is just a boom play, and it's a great camera shot. See Robo kick out, lead 62, boom, nice block. I'll tell you what. Their offensive line coach at Anthony Wayne does a sensational job because every year we see them, they block so crisply and so well. It's a textbook boom with a lead block.
We talked about Mr. Kramer a little bit earlier. Not only is he a decent runner, he led the league in receiving last year as a junior, and he never played offense as a sophomore. He didn't start playing offense until he was a junior and ended up leading the league. Here's Mr. Persinger trying to go around the right end, has some blocking. And he's going to be dragged down at about the, call it the 5.5-yard line. Good pursuit right there by the Springfield Blue Devils. Mike Bekier was there to lead the defensive charge.
Well, Billy, Coach Smith is a great coach and does a terrific job with his program here at Anthony Wayne. He's a class guy. He always runs a great program. And I don't want to tell him what to do, but I think it's Robo time down here. When you get down in that area, I'd be giving it to the big man.
Well, it's second down and 5, and Anthony Wayne can get a first down without getting a touchdown. They fake it to Mr. Persinger, but I'll tell you, Verbosky's going nowhere there. Good tackle inside, number 76. The first one to get there for the, check that, 36, I should have known. Rick Gonzales from the middle linebacking position. Boom, right there. I tell you, and then look, he goes after the legs, Thomas. A great tackle right there.
And what Robo's got to do on that one, Billy, is I think he actually missed the hole. He kind of ran into the pile on that. He needs to sidestep. There was a little bit of a crease if he sidesteps.
All right, it's 3rd and 5 from the 6-yard line. Kramer and Persinger will split to the left, and now we've got a timeout. We'll take a break. Anthony Wayne wants to talk it over. No mistakes this close to Nirvana, so we'll come back with more. We've got 1:26 to go before the intermission. It's 7-7, Generals and Blue Devils.
School offers 9 different art classes, from traditional drawing and painting to our more high-tech computer graphics and photography classes. To learn more, stick tuned at halftime.
Well, Emily is one of the people we'll be visiting with at halftime as we will check into the art department here at Anthony Wayne. Plus, we're going to give you a little taste of one of the best bands in the land, at least in Northwest Ohio. The Anthony Wayne Band will entertain at halftime. Here's Verbosky from 6 yards out, and he's going to be dragged down, and we'll see where they mark it. That was a 3rd down play, so they still got another chance to run the old dump truck. But we'll see where they mark that one. It looks like they're going to mark it. Now they're going to bring the chains out, I think.
Well, you called it, Billy. Robo is a dump truck, all right, and he's loaded up with gravel. He gets downhill fast. See how he's running downhill? Boy, he just gets that load going forward, and he's tough to stop.
Tell you, good gang tackling again, Thomas. Springfield doing a great job going to the ball as fast as possible, and it's not one guy that's going to bring Verbosky down, so they know they got to bring the troops.
You've got no chance but to gang tackle Robo. He's a big kid, and he runs hard.
We'll check this out to see just how close they are because it was a third down play. It was 3rd and 5. And they are going to be about half the length of the football. So with Verbosky, well, I would assume we'll get the call. We shall see. And again, they can get the first down without the touchdown. Verbosky now on that carry picking up 5 more yards. That's 18 carries and 103 yards in the first half, Thomas. On a night like this, I tell you, that's some pretty good pounding.
He's an impressive kid, and they do a great job with the blocking up front, and it's fun to watch.
Well, you can hear the Anthony Wayne fans cheering on the offense, the Springfield Blue Devil fans exhorting their defense. So we'll see what happens right here. 3rd and about the length of the football. Sadowski with Holland and Verbosky behind him. Jason under center. Here's Verbosky. Touchdown, Anthony Wayne. Was there any doubt?
It was robo time, Bill, and when you've got a kid that runs that hard and the blocking's that crisp up front, you got to, it's the old bum Phillips thing of, why'd you give it to him so many times? Well, ain't nobody stopped him.
That's right. Until somebody stops him, why should we help them out?
Exactly. Just keep giving it to him till somebody stops him.
67-yard drive capped off by right there. That 3-yard touchdown run by Brad Verbosky, his 2nd of the night. And with the extra point coming as the kick is up. And the kick is no good. They had a trouble with the extra point. As you see Mr. Verbosky getting into pay dirt. He was brought down, but a little too late. The extra point was no good by Colin Huber. So the Anthony Wayne Generals lead 13-7 with 45 seconds to go in the first half. We're back with more on the Buckeye Cable System right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody, as we're closing down the first half. The second half the second quarter, Thomas, just zooming by in this particular ball game, and the Generals on homecoming night have themselves a 6-point lead as we get closer to the break.
Well, Billy, what happens to the Springfield offense, they don't get out on the field and they don't get the reps, and you lose your rhythm and you lose your continuity. So it was not only a drive that, ate up a lot of time and scored, but it kept the other offense on the sideline.
Colin Huber to attempt the kickoff, and this one bounces down, and it's going to be picked up by number 3. This is Dee Alexander for Springfield. Has to get some running room, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. They're going to mark it at about the 29-yard line. So that's where Steve Harvey and company will go to work, trailing right now 13-7. Harvey with a 75-yard touchdown run on the very first play of the ball game. Quickly gave the Springfield Blue Devils the 7-0 lead, but then Anthony Wayne came back. A 70-yard drive capped off by a 2-yard Brad Verbosky touchdown, tied it at 7, and then just moments ago at the 45-second mark, a 67-yard drive ended with a Brad Verbosky 3-yard run. The extra point was no good by Colin Huber, and it's 13-7. So we'll see what happens with the Springfield Blue Devils right here. And here's Harvey. He's got the football and some running room. Brandon Kramer forces him out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock as they're going to force him out of bounds at the 47. Now check that. Now they're going to move it up to about the 46-yard line of the Anthony Wayne Generals. And just as we talked about the fact Mr. Harvey did a pretty good job in the first play of the game, he does the same thing again. And that time, Thomas, the Kenny Rogers play worked.
Yeah, well, what they did, Billy, is they had double wide slot and they ran the same dive option. And Steve's got good wheels. I mean, he can move.
Clock stop with 31 seconds to go here in the first half. Harvey dropping back to pass, gets pretty good protection, heads it downfield, and his intended target, number 3, Dee Alexander, was just a little bit short And again, the ball sailed on him, which seems to be a problem all night, Thomas.
Well, Steve's a terrific athlete, and what I really like him a lot. But what he needs to do is he needs to get a more fluid passing motion. It's a little herky-jerky, and he throws a great-looking ball, but if he gets more of a fluid passing motion, it'll help him be more accurate.
Chad Mossing goes to the right. Rob Lemle. And number 83 for Springfield. Mr. Tonjes comes to the left, but they're going to give it right up the gut. Here's Taylor Taube. He's got some running room, and he's going to be dropped at about the 15-yard line. I'll tell you, some huge plays from both of these offenses as they spread the offense, Thomas, right there. They spread the defense, we should say, and Taylor Taube with a huge run right there.
Well, give Coach Demars a ton of credit. He's a terrific coach. He does an excellent job. And what he's done, Bill, is he's spreading the field with double wide slots, and he's running a quick trap with Taylor, and Anthony Wayne's playing pass, and Coach Demars is giving him run. And it's as simple as that. It's a quick trap, nice shot, and I like it. He runs north-south.
And look who comes in and gets our tackle. Brandon Kramer comes in with a touchdown-saving tackle for the moment on Mr. Taube. A 30-yard run puts the Springfield Blue Devils in business as you see the night's work so far by Mr. Taube.
Partner, did you notice that the last two plays ago, the out-of-bounds hit are close to one of our camera people down there, and our man up top here, Heath, cringed. He almost shuddered a little bit when he saw that.
I tell you, our crew does a nice job making. They throw their body in front of everything. As you see, one of the sports facts. There's the computer rankings for this week.
Yep.
Nice to see Whitmer, St. Francis, and Findlay all in the top 10. Of course, the top 8 will make the playoffs. But I'll tell you that, look at that, 7 in Division II, including probably, I would assume, everybody's surprise team, Thomas, the Woodward Polar Bears.
Great job by them this year.
So the ball on the 15-yard line, 1st and 10, Harvey back to pass. Gets protection, heads it into the end zone. Touchdown, Springfield! Well, I'll tell you, Craig Mossing was right there. The ball was just high enough that it got over the receiver, Quentin Wise, and a touchdown from Mr. Harvey, a 15-yard touchdown pass.
Well, Bill, what's so impressive about that with Steve is his courage. I'm telling you, he stands in there like a college kid. He knows he's going to get hit. He takes the shot, and he delivers the football. It's very difficult. Watch this now. Watch him stand in there. Gets his feet set. He knows he's going to get hit. He's looking. Boom. There it comes. And he still stands in there and delivers the football. That's a big-time throw, Steve.
And Mr. Mossing, after catching the touchdown pass, crosses the tee with the extra point. And with 14 seconds to go, it's 14-3, 14-13, as you see that touchdown pass again from Steve Harvey.
Watch him stand in there,
Mossing.
Billy, and he gets hit. It's so difficult to teach young kids to stand in there when they feel the pressure. They want to bail out and throw, off their back foot and fall away. Nice job, Steve. That's a lot of guts to stand in the pocket and throw the football.
Well, we'll see if that's the last score of the first half. I'm not going to say anything because both these quick strike offenses, Thomas, you'd think with the rain it wouldn't be going that fast, but it is just amazing how fast these two teams can score.
Well, Billy, plaudits go to Coach Demars on that one because really what he did is he put a spread offense out there. The other team is thinking pass, and he's running the football. The two runs really got him in position to throw the touchdown pass. So great offensive scheming by Coach Phil Demars.
Well, there you saw the numbers on that drive, and these are not short drives, ladies and gentlemen. These are taking up not a lot of time, but taking an awful lot of yardage up as Chad Mossing will be kicking off the deep man for Anthony Wayne, Matt Persinger. 14-13 now, the visitors from Springfield as the wind gets things rolling here. Steve Harvey, 4 carries, 107 yards. Of course, 75 of those in the very first play.
The dive option, he runs it very well, Bill. He puts it in and takes it away, and he's got terrific quicks. He moves very well.
So we'll see what happens. Still with 14 seconds, that could be 2 more scores before this half is over. The up man's going to grab this one rather than get it all the way back there for Anthony Wayne. The ball's picked up by number 34. That's Tyler Ron will pick it up, and he'll move it forward. And look who's on the tackle, Rick Gonzales. He is everywhere. They call him fearless, and you ought to see, Thomas, he is quite a historian. We had him on the football forum earlier this week on WCWA, and he's telling us about Springfield this and Springfield that, and not just the last 2 years. He's talking about the last 15, 18 years. This is who the great running back was back in the early 80s. And it's amazing how much this kid absorbs what's going on at Springfield. He goes to school at Penna. That's part of his curriculum. But I tell you, they call him fearless, and he is quite the Springfield historian. So we'll see what happens here with 7 seconds to go. If Craig Smith decides to try to get another score, they're going to give it to the dump truck. Mr. Verbosky is going to be hogtied, and that is going to end our first half with Verbosky being hogtied at the 39-yard line. But I'll tell you what a scoring bonanza we had in the second quarter. And at the end of the first half, it's 14-13, the missed extra point. The only problem that Anthony Wayne had is their offense did a very nice job in this first quarter, as did the offense for Springfield. So we've got a lot of stuff to get to here at halftime. We're going to visit with the art department out here at Anthony Wayne. We're going to let you listen in to some of the band performance. Anthony Wayne's band, one of the best in the land, performed down at Disney World, has performed at the Orange Bowl. So it is amazing some of the talent that they have here, not just only on the football field, but in the extracurricular activities as well. Let's go down to the field. Jim Oswald standing by with Craig Smith.
Coach, up and down first half. They score on their first possession. You guys take control almost the rest of the half to the last 45 seconds. Let them get back in the ball game. Any strategy change?
No. I mean, you can't let them drive the ball, 75 yards in the last 30 seconds. So we just got to be more consistent.
Is the weather affecting your strategy at all today?
Not at all. Nope.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck second half. Guys, back up to you. Coach, obviously not real happy after the last touchdown they gave up there before half.
All right, Ozzie, we appreciate that. Get yourself under some cover, my friend. We'll take a break and come back. Our halftime activities will get started, and at the break, the Springfield Blue Devils on homecoming for Anthony Wayne lead the Generals 14-13 on the Buckeye Cable System.
High school football game of the week is brought to you by the Andersons. More for your home. Subway. Eat fresh. Banner Mattress and Furniture, your hometown furniture team for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio. Taube Electronics, Toledo's source for all your mobile video and car stereo equipment. ACP, the Alliance of Construction Professionals. Find out about the other four-year degree and build your future with us.
Oh, there are super specials on solder furniture at Banner Express today. Entertainment furniture for every size TV. A home theater wall system for giant screen TVs, $398. Beautiful cherry entertainment wall, $298. Stylish shaker bedrooms, 4-drawer chest, $88. Twin size bookcase headboard, $48. No time to assemble it yourself, we'll do it. Spend a little time, not much money, for solder furniture at Banner Express. Our Monroe Street location will save you money.
It's halftime at the high school football game of the week on Buckeye Cable System. Halftime's brought to you by Banner Mattress and Furniture, your hometown furniture team for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio.
Hi, welcome to Halftime, and I'm Katie Horn, and I'm here with a small fraction of the 75% of Anthony Wayne High School students that are involved in the art department, and we're going to give you a chance to meet some of them.
Hi, I'm Colin Huber, and I'm a senior.
Mrs. Ladd.
Jessica Floria, and I'm a senior.
I'm Devin O'Malley, and I'm a sophomore.
Mrs. King.
Ross Scherzer, and I'm a senior.
Okay, 75%. That is a lot of students to get involved in one department, especially in high school. Why do you think that is?
Yes, Katie, that's a large percentage of our student body, and we're very proud of that. We offer a wide variety of classes here at Anthony Wayne. We have everything from beginning classes to drawing, painting, sculpture, ceramics, metals and fibers, photography, and even into technology. We have computer graphics and cyber arts. So we offer a wide range of classes to meet the needs of all the students here at Anthony Wayne.
I think an example of the types of students that are a variety of students, we have Colin is one who I taught drawing to, and he's on the football team. So we have a lot of different types of students. Jessie, I taught painting and drawing, and she is going to pursue a career as a doctor. But the art classes seem to appeal to a lot of different kinds of students.
So there's a lot of diversity. Now, with you, the students, why do you guys think it's such a good idea for there to be such a variety of art classes?
I think there's something for everyone. There are a lot of different interests at our school, and there are so many classes offered that there's something for everybody.
The students can also pull ideas from their other art classes when going into a different form of art.
Yeah, I agree with Ross there too, and also that not everybody is proficient at one type of art or they like that type of art. Everybody has a different view on what is appealing, what is beautiful to somebody.
With such a diverse program, there are probably a lot of people that you see in your classes that wouldn't be the typical art student, and you've probably made some friends that wouldn't be the typical people that you would usually meet. Why do you think, what about art makes all that possible?
I think art puts everybody on the same level because with your art you're expressing who you are, and it kind of makes you vulnerable. And so if everybody's vulnerable, nobody's in a more, I guess, dominant position. And so everybody just seems to get along more because everybody's more open towards each other.
That's good. What's your favorite art medium and why?
I don't really have a favorite. I mean, I've taken so many classes, I couldn't really pinpoint which classes I liked. I mean, I didn't dislike any of the classes, so I'd say everything's just a different opportunity, and I really enjoy everything.
Okay.
I really like watercolor. I'm taking a painting class this year, and it wasn't always my favorite. It was difficult for me at first, and now that I'm learning a lot of techniques, I'm starting to really enjoy it.
I enjoy three-dimensional art a lot, and also computer art.
Okay. What have you learned about yourself as an artist by going through the program or starting out, things like that?
I think I've learned that there's not just a randomness to art, and there's not just putting paint or pencil to paper or on a computer. There's different ways to improve your art and to judge it and look at it. There's balance, and there's movement and variety and unity, and there's all these different categories on how to kind of improve your art and make it more of a more beautiful art piece.
Okay. I remember what high school is like. You go to your math class, you go to English, you go to history. Do your art classes provide you a nice little break during the day? Is that kind of a release for you?
Definitely. I have 3 periods of art all day, so it's a nice break. I come to school and I got 2 periods of sculpture, and it's really relaxing.
I love it. I come to painting class, and Mrs. Ladd is just so happy, and it's just a really nice break and a really easy way to wind down and not be so stressed out about everything.
I guess I don't really think about it being different from the other classes. I think I use a lot of the things from science or math classes with like geometry or things like that. I use it in my art, so it really actually it's just a way to expand on everything that I learned.
Katie, I would like to mention that in our art class we also cross over disciplines. We often assess or write about our work. We even have textbooks, which surprises people. We ask the students to do reflections, to also critique each other. So there is a lot of critical thinking and responses going on. So oftentimes when students come to art, it's a different kind of learning, but it can be very visual, but it also can be written and critically thought about.
I think the art classes are a good blend of a little bit of lecture, a little bit of production, a lot of critique, a lot of talking, a lot of looking, a lot of really becoming in touch with yourself.
This sounds like an amazing program. What would you, the students, or as the faculty, say to a new student or try to say to an existing Anthony Wayne student that doesn't have an art class? What would you recommend to them as why to get involved?
I'd tell them to take, their beginning art class and then find an area that they like, talk to the art teachers and see if they can, set something up as to where they can get more practice in that field and possibly excel.
I think when you create the art here, you expose yourself so much that you just get to meet people and you get to learn a lot about them just through their art and talking to them in the classroom.
I think that it's important to take as many art classes as you can because each of them are so different and you learn new things in every class. So it's just an opportunity to just learn and just enjoy yourself.
I think it provides a more rounded education. After you take your English and your math, it provides a more opportunity to become more of a Renaissance person and allow yourself to have more backgrounds in your future when you're applying for jobs and other stuff.
Okay, well, before we wrap this up here, I think there's an art show coming up in the spring that will showcase all this talent. Mrs. King?
Yes, Katie, we feature an art show with about 5,000 works of art from the students here at Anthony Wayne in the district. And the students exhibit their work. We have everything from traditional art to technology and even senior portfolios. So we get all the students involved, and that would be a great place to come and see what the Anthony Wayne Art Department has to offer.
Sounds like something I might have to come out to. This is an amazing program, and I really want to thank you for letting me come into your art room today and get to know you and get to know a little bit more about your work. And good luck with your art show in the spring and everything else for the rest of the year. We'll be right back right after this with more of the Anthony Wayne Springfield game.
This has been Halftime at the High School Football Game of the Week on Buckeye Cable System. Halftime's been brought to you by Banner Mattress and Furniture, your hometown furniture team for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio. We'll be right back with the greatest sports team in the Glass City and the second half right after this message.
14-13, our halftime score. Springfield over Anthony Wayne. A late touchdown by the Blue Devils gave them the lead. We're going to take a break and come back, get you ready for the second half of this big ball game in the Northern Lakes League. You see the numbers. Tom Cole and I are back.
Hi, I'm Steve in the Banner Mattress Factory. My friends kid me about being in these commercials, but these little babies are the only stars around here. This is Toledo's largest mattress factory, which gives us quantity purchasing power to keep your costs low. Our crew is proud of the mattresses we manufacture, and our customers are pretty happy about being able to save a lot of money by buying direct. Listen, I'm no star, and this isn't exactly Hollywood, but it's a good factory with skilled craftsmen making a great product. Buy mattresses direct from Banner and save.
High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by The Andersons, more for your home. Subway, eat fresh. Banner Mattress and Furniture, your hometown furniture team for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio. Taz Electronics, Toledo's source for all your mobile video and car stereo equipment. ACP, the Alliance of Construction Professionals. Find out about the other four-year degree and build your future with us.
We're back with Coach Phil Demars of the Springfield Blue Devils. Coach, first half, the kind that keeps psychologists in business. You get off to that quick start, they kind of take over, and then a good score before halftime. Any changes planned coming in the second half?
No, not really. Defensively, we made a few adjustments, but mainly just reminding the kids of their responsibilities. They're a good football team, and they held the ball quite a bit during that first half.
The weather affecting your game plan, strategy, or anything at this point?
Not us. We're happy.
Okay, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second half. Well, let's go upstairs to Bill and Tom.
Ozzie, thanks so much. We appreciate that. Tom Cole with me, Bill Clark up in the booth. And, Thomas, I tell you, I really didn't think we were going to have this much scoring. I mean, in their sustained drives, which I did expect with these two teams.
Well, again, the offenses, Bill, we're getting the wing T, we're getting a little bit of the spread. We've got great running backs. We've got a couple kids that can run and throw the football. So, they're potent offenses.
Well, let's take a look at some of the numbers that we have from the first half compiled by our crack crew of statisticians. And you'll see, Thomas, that I tell you, look at the rushing yards, a yard different.
Yeah, 157 to 156. I mean, you can't get any closer than that, really. And the passing yards, they're not that far off either, quite honestly.
Well, you talked about this being two teams that are going to mirror each other. Oh, yeah, look at those numbers, and they can't be much more mirrored than that. Let's go back down in the field. Jim Oswald standing by. Ozzie?
Bill, Tom, one thing I noticed in the first half with both these teams is defensively, you're taught as linebackers to read your keys, and those keys are you read through the guards to the running backs. Against this wing T, what I think some of them are getting caught up now and then is they're skipping reading the guard and going right to the back. You start doing that, that's when they're getting caught because, as Tom has mentioned throughout this game, those backs are going everywhere, and you got to find a guy with the ball. It's kind of like a hide-and-seek game. They got to get back to keep reading their keys, starting with guard to the backs.
Ozzie, as a defensive coordinator, you've seen this wing T a lot of times. How much preparation can you actually have knowing that the offense in practice that you're practicing against can't run it like your opponent's going to run it?
You can't. That's the bottom line. You got to just come out and try to simulate it as best you can and go back to reading your keys, because the keys will take you to the ball against this offense. And once you get out of that or step away from it or get caught up and misread, then you're going to get caught by a guy coming across from the side, taking you out. That's going to leave an open gap like on Springfield's first touchdown. The linebacker took a step inside. He got a block backside, couldn't recover.
All right, Jim, we appreciate that. Thomas, that's the defensive side of the thing. But as an offensive coordinator, I know that's your favorite side of the ball.
Yeah.
How do you attack this? I mean, how do you try to keep sustained drives going?
Well, the very nature of the offense, Billy, allows that to happen because you have misdirection. You're using all your running backs. You're using your quarterback as a running back. Steve Harvey can run the football. I mean, he's another running back in the backfield. So everyone in the backfield can run the football. Both quarterbacks throw it effectively. So it's a potent offense.
Well, both teams are getting ready to get this one underway in the second half. The Springfield Blue Devils, who received the opening kickoff, will be kicking off here in the second half, and that means Chad Mossing will get this one underway. Matt Persinger will be deep for the Anthony Wayne Generals, who right now find themselves down a point, 14-13, a 75-yard touchdown scoring run off the first play of the ball game by Steve Harvey. Got the Springfield Blue Devils off to a 7-0 lead, but then a 70-yard drive ended with a 2-yard Brad Verbosky touchdown to tie things at 7. And before we get to the kickoff, Oz has got something on his mind. Jim?
Just a quick update on the weather. It has become more of a light mist, but the wind's still blowing strong. It's coming from the west to the east of the field. Don't know if the rain is going to affect play as much the second half, but the wind might if it comes down to 1 extra point.
All right, Oz, is it me, Tommy, or do you think the mist looks nice on Ozzy's hair?
Well, I think Oz is basically telling us the heavy stuff's not going to come till later, and he can play on through.
Look at that, doesn't he? He looks like a model.
Yeah,
he looks like
good.
a model.
Yeah, GQ.
Just misting right off. Let's get back to football. Forget the fashion, as the ball is going to be squibbed all the way down into the end zone. It's going to be an automatic touchback, as are the rules in high school. Finish the scoring for you if you joined us a little bit late after it was a 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Then the Anthony Wayne Generals got their first lead of the ball game, a 45-yard or 67-yard 13-play drive. Brad Verbosky ended that one as well, his second touchdown of the ball game. That made it 13-7. The extra point was no good by Colin Huber, who you saw in our halftime feature. He's also an art student here at Anthony Wayne. And then with 45 seconds to go in the first half, a 15-yard touchdown run by pass from Steve Harvey to Chad Mossing ended a 5-play, 71-yard drive, and the extra point was good, and that's where we are as we start the third quarter. 14-13, Springfield on top. And, geez, look at that. The first play from scrimmage from Anthony Wayne, the dump truck gets the call.
You called it, Billy. I tell you, I've got to think, and this is our first opportunity to see Robo run the football, but I've got to think in the fourth quarter, you know, he's got to have a dramatic effect on the defense because you got to get tired of tackling this guy.
I don't know. You just hang on and go for a ride sometimes, I think, after a while.
Exactly.
Here's Sadowski. I'm going to put it up. And he's got Brad Kramer. Brandon Kramer gets it, and he's going to be tackled at about the 34-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Anthony Wayne Generals. And right now, Sadowski with some time, Thomas, has really got an opportunity to pick out his receiver.
Well, we've got a little sprint out by Jason, and I'd still like to see him get his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, but I got to tell you, that's a beautiful-looking ball. And Brandon Kramer's just, as you said very appropriately, Billy, he's just an all-around outstanding athlete.
And the gang tackle again by Springfield brings them down. So that's a first down, as we mentioned. So here comes Sadowski. The Generals trailing by a point. And this time Verbosky's not going anywhere as he's going to be swarmed under by that sea of white shirts. As we've got schools with the same colors and just running opposite tonight. The visiting Springfield Blue Devils in the white tops and blue pants. And then Anthony Wayne, if you wanted to see some confusion in the pregame warm-up, Anthony Wayne came out in their practice jerseys because it was raining, and they had white jerseys on too. So you had people sitting right in front of us in the press box who are Anthony Wayne fans, not knowing which one of the teams was theirs until they left and came back out in their blue jerseys. But we have that confusion taken care of. Hey, I only got confused for the first play of the game. I've been pretty good since then. First and 10 again. Here comes the end around, and Seth Holland is going to be dragged down from behind. Great defensive play. Mike Bekier was the one who made the play, and I tell you, he's come up with some huge tackles from his defensive end position.
A lot of ball handling here, Billy. They fake the dive. They bring it around the other side, again, to misdirection. Ozzy talked about it at halftime very, very well, how difficult it is to read those keys. And what Springfield is doing is that each guy up front is doing their assignment, reading their keys, and staying home, and that's why they've stuffed the last couple of plays.
Well, Holland comes out to the right along with Persinger. In the slot is Kramer. Verbosky the only setback. And Jason Sadowski comes out. And he's got Matt Persinger. I'll tell you, that's the second nice diving catch that Matt Persinger has made tonight. And he and Jason Sadowski look like they are really clicking well tonight, Thomas, even in the wet weather.
Well, you know, I'm so impressed. This formation, this spread trip side has worked for them in the passing game, and it's been open all night. And Jason is an impressive quarterback. He really is. And if he could get a more fluid passing motion, and when he's sprinting out, get his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage, I'll tell you what, he could be something special throwing the football.
Well, it did come up short, though. It was a nice play, but it is going to make a punting situation. Jason Sadowski doing double duty as the punter and quarterback. Chad Mossing is deep for the Springfield Blue Devils, along with Josh Champion. First punt of the ball game for the Anthony Wayne Generals, and Sadowski a low driving kick that Mossing's going to pick up at the 25-yard line, stumbles, and then he's going to be swarmed under by a sea of blue jerseys. So that's where the Springfield Blue Devils will go to work. They lead at 14-13. They'll start on the 25-yard line, and we'll come back with more from Anthony Wayne on the Buckeye Cable System right after this timeout.
The Andersons, more for your home.
Get ready now for the cold weather ahead during the Andersons winterizing days. There's a quality Owens Corning insulation for every project, a weather-tight Anderson window to fit every opening, and a heater for every size room. Save on window kits, caulks, and weather stripping, all at guaranteed everyday low prices.
The Andersons, more for your home.
Well, Taylor Taube gets the call on the very first play from the 25-yard line for the Springfield Blue Devils. Picks up about 3. They mark it at the 28-yard line.
Hey, Billy, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention TNT, Taylor. He runs that quick trap very well. You know, he's a big man who also runs very, very well, positive yardage north-south.
Springfield has a 1-point lead, 14-13. We are in third quarter action, 8:02 to go in a very fast-moving third quarter, and you would expect that, Thomas, with both teams pretty much keeping things on the ground.
Yeah, there's no question. I'm really impressed with the running backs on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Anthony Wayne, Springfield have excellent running backs. I'm impressed with their schemes, and they can throw the ball enough to keep the defenses honest. So it's a great offensive scheme on both sides of the ball.
We talked about Springfield doing the gang tackling, but if you watch Anthony Wayne, too, they've got a couple guys that really try to key on the ball, and if they can slow up the runner, then the sea of blue shows up, and it's like a tidal wave to bring the runner down. So it's 3rd down and 6 for the Springfield Blue Devils. And Harvey's going to drop back, gets pretty good protection, launches it down. He's got a wide open receiver, and it's dropped. Chad Mossing was behind, and I tell you, Thomas, that was one of those deals where I need the ball quicker than I can get it, and he outran the ball.
Well, you know what Chad's got to do, and he's a terrific athlete, and he does a great job for Springfield. But what he's got to do, Bill, when the ball is thrown a little bit short like that, what you do is you stop, catch the football. We'll take the catch right there. What Chad was trying to do is catch it and go in. Well, we'll take the catch right there. Make sure you have the catch, and then we'll execute from there from that point on.
All right, it's another punt for the Springfield Blue Devils. And a nice high spiral, and Persinger's going to call for a fair catch and does so right at the 40-yard line of the Anthony Wayne Generals. So the Generals with Jason Sadowski at the helm will take over, and they will be 60 yards from Nirvana. We're back with more. It's still 14-13 Springfield over Anthony Wayne. Well, another one of those long breakers, and I'll tell you, it was a great play for the Anthony Wayne Generals, a 28-yard pickup on the first play from scrimmage, and so going from their own 40 down right now to the 32-yard line of the Springfield Blue Devils, the Anthony Wayne Generals doing what they can to get right back into this ball game. So here we go. And this time Verbosky gets the call from Mr. Sadowski, and he's going to plow forward and going to crack the 30-yard line, go up to about the 28. So that'll make it 2nd down and about 7 to go.
Well, Billy, that's the quick trap that they run, and And the only thing I don't like about that, Billy, is it gets Robo running a little sideways. I think he's much better off. When you get the big man running sideways, it negates a lot of his power. I think they're better off just running him, in straight ahead plays because he's got that power going north-south right away.
So we'll see what happens on this particular play. The defensive line readies itself for another attack of Mr. Verbosky as Seth Holland goes in motion, but Verbosky gets the call, bounces off one tackler, but then the swarming tackle again as Nick Johnson was first into the pile there, and he knocked Mr. Johnson, or Mr. Verbosky, a little bit back off his pins, and then the cavalry came in to help finish things up.
Well, the Springfield defense deserves a lot of credit, Bill, because they're really facing a kid that's I think he's a load to bring down, and they gang tackle him, they stuff the holes. But I think as this game wears on in the fourth quarter, it's going to be difficult to contain Robo.
5.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. This time it's Persinger. Has some running room and going to be nailed by Taylor Taube. Comes up to pick him up. They tap each other on the head and say, hey, good play on both ends, and that's what this is all about, Thomas. Some nice sportsmanship right there.
Been great sportsmanship on both sides of the ball, and that's what that happens, Bill, when you have two well-coached teams that play good fundamental football, and that's a plaudit for Coach Smith and Coach Demars. You know what Matt did so well there, Bill? Did you notice that he waited? He actually grabbed the jersey of his blocker in front of him and waited till the appropriate kick out and cut up inside, and that's classy running. That's patience.
It's a first down for the Anthony Wayne Generals. The ball on the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. The Generals trail by 1. And here's Verbosky. He crosses the 10 or 15 down to about the 12-yard line. And again, it takes a couple people to knock him down. And the first one back a few yards from the actual tackle, Rick Gonzales was in there to kind of take his legs off from under him, but he still picked up another 3 or 4 yards after that.
Yeah, again, Billy, when you're in the secondary and you see the big man break through and he's got a head of steam going, the big man isn't looking to juke you right or left. He's looking to run right over the top of you, Billy, and that's what he does.
All right, it makes it 2nd and 3, ball on the 13-yard line, and this time Verbosky's going to be met. And I was going to say dropped right away, but it took him a few players as, again, the gang tackling. Maurice Hawkins was there. Andrew Tolson, number 48, was the first one at the scene of that particular crash. And then with the help of some of his buddies, they were able to bring Mr. Verbosky down. He's going to lose a couple yards there. 26 carries, 140 yards for Mr. Verbosky. And he had 107 in the first half.
Well, Billy, people look at a play like that where it went no place and they think that's a throwaway, toss-away play, and it's not because it influences. They're gang tackling this kid. So when they fake the robo and give to one of the other backs coming around, it's going to open up a crease.
This drive started on the Anthony Wayne 40-yard line, and here comes Persinger trying to get around right in. Nice cutback move, and he's going to be finally falling forward. They're going to mark it at about the 7-yard line. Again, Mike Bekier was there from his defensive end position to make sure Mr. Persinger did get down, and it is a first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 7 for the Anthony Wayne Generals as they try to retake the lead in this ball game. They trail at 14-13.
Well, and Bill, is exactly what we talked about. The fake the robo inside, holds the linebackers, holds the inside people, and lets Matt get outside on the edge.
So from the 7-yard line, Sadowski barking signals, puts Persinger in motion. Here's Verbosky. And he's still on his feet and finally going to be dragged down. They're going to mark it, look like at about the 3-yard line. And again, a nice gang tackle by Springfield, and that's pretty much what you want to do. Make sure he doesn't go back to the filling station and refuel, Thomas. Maybe he'll run out of gas by the end of the game.
Yeah, this is a great drive, great play calling by Coach Smith. And again, it's a play that didn't get any yardage, but it's an influence play, Billy, because you've shown the big man running inside. You fake it to the big man inside and bring one of your quick kids outside, and you've got a play.
So 2nd down and goal to go from the 7-yard line as the Generals try to retake the lead. They trail at 14-13. With Jim Oswald and Tom Cole, I'm Bill Clark. Thanks for joining us on the Buckeye Cable System. Here's Seth Holland. He's going around the left end, and he is out of bounds, not into the end zone. He is out at about the 1-yard line. Good pursuit by Springfield. It looked like he was going to sneak in, but number 2, Steve Harvey, the quarterback playing in his free safety position, ran him out of bounds before he could get to pay dirt.
Well, it's what we talked about, Billy. You fake to the big man inside, you hold the linebackers, and you bring one of the wing T guys around on the outside with speed, and that's exactly what they did. Good play calling by Coach Smith.
3rd and goal. All right, you want to bet your house who's getting the ball
Well,
on this particular play, Thomas?
You know, it would be robo time for me, but they've got a lot of good running backs.
Well, Seth Holland and Verbosky are both in the backfield. Sadowski checking things out. Here's Verbosky, and I don't think he got in.
No, it didn't get in.
I don't
Billy.
think he got in. Great
think so.
defense right there by the Springfield Blue Devils. They stopped him and maybe even cost him about a half a yard, and that brings up 4th down. So we'll see what Craig Smith has to say. And getting up off the bottom of the pile, big number 73, Nick Johnson, 6'2", 250-pound senior. Pretty good tackling right there.
That's great game tackling. Great defensive stand. Bill, you know, this is almost the kind of situation where if you sent Robo off to the right side of the line and let the quarterback take a step back, read the crease, and go left, that he might be able to just slide in there.
Marcus Mullins, Nick Johnson, the 2 defensive tackles trying to stack things up. Here's Verbosky. He leaps into the end zone. Touchdown! Anthony Wayne. They stopped him one time, but they couldn't stop him the second time. And a 60-yard touchdown drive ends with Brad Verbosky's 3rd touchdown of the ball game. This one from 1 yard out, and that makes the score 19-14. So you're going for 2 here, Coach?
Yes.
All right, so we'll see what happens. Sadowski is not leaving. You can see the play right there.
Well, you called it, Billy. You got a partner. You know, Robo is just – he's a tough kid. And give the kids credit up front that are doing the blocking. I mean, he has great blocking schemes, good play calling by the head coach, and good hard running by Verbosky.
So we'll see what happens now. They're going to have to go for 2 to get back onto the regular scheme of things as far as the points go. This would give them a 7-point lead if they are able to convert. And from 3 yards out, they send trips to the right. And Mr. Verbosky still in the backfield. Sadowski will dump it off and get it to go. Verbosky catches the 2-point conversion. And we have a score now of Anthony Wayne on homecoming night, 21-14 over Springfield. We're back with more as you see this beautifully executed play right here.
Well, it's great play call by Coach Smith. It's an old Bill Walsh San Francisco 49er play where the back leaks out of the backfield and just, we call it a circle out, and circles out. Everybody else runs off. They do end zone slants, and the back circles out into the corner, and it's an easy pitch and catch.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens now, because now it's the Springfield Blue Devils who are on the short end of the score. But the way they score in this particular game. All right, let's go down. I think our Katie Horn is standing by with tonight's homecoming queen. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Bill. It's a little chilly down here, and as you can see, our homecoming queen, Brooke Lingo, she's really busy. She's already changed out of her outfit and has gone down and been cheering for the game. So, I mean, you must have been so excited hearing your name. What was going through your head?
Well, at first I was a little shocked, but then I was really very honored that the whole school picked me, and Chris was really excited too. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, I think we're gonna have your reaction on the screen. If you could look right down there for me.
He was so happy.
Now, oh, you guys look so excited. Were you surprised that both of you, because I'm sure the escorts aren't picked by that?
Yeah, I was just, it was all just. I wasn't expecting it at all, really. It was a lot of fun.
So you have your dance tomorrow then?
Yep, tomorrow night.
Now, you and Chris, that was obviously paired off before you knew, so were you surprised that both of you were named King and Queen?
Well, we were supposed to walk down the field together, and, I really didn't know who was going to win, so it was such a toss-up, and it was exciting that it was both of us, so.
That made it look nice, a little staged. No, I'm just joking. Well, we're going to let you go and let you get back to cheering, and you enjoy your homecoming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And back to you, Bill.
Thanks so much. We appreciate that. Congratulations to Brooke Lingo and her escort, King and Queen. And right now, Springfield's doing what they can to spoil the party for Anthony Wayne. But right now, the Generals have themselves a 21-14 lead as we break 1 minute to go here in the third quarter as the quarterback, Steve Harvey, run out of bounds on that particular play, so that'll stop the clock. No, they said he was inbound, so they continue to run the clock.
Well, Billy, Steve Harvey is an excellent quarterback. He's got a lot of skills. He throws the ball well. His mobility is outstanding. He has good quicks, good generalship on the field. A very impressive quarterback.
All right, 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Springfield Blue Devils down a touchdown and an extra point for 21-14. Here goes Harvey across the middle, and his intended receiver, Chris White, tripped or slipped in the mud at the center part of the field, tried to get back up, but still couldn't get back to his feet in time. We want to let you know that some of the shots you'll see from our higher cameras might be looking like they're just a little bit foggy. Our cameramen are doing everything they can to clean off the lenses for you, but the humidity and the rain, they are doing what they can. So we will make sure you get the clearest picture possible despite the adverse conditions here at Anthony Wayne, and we thank our crew for doing a great job as always in those adverse conditions. Punting situation, Persinger will call the second time a fair catch, and I'll tell you, Thomas, he has the guts of a burglar, and that's got to be an awful tough catch to make with the wind in your face and the rain and the ball going over your shoulder.
Well, Matt isn't shy on the football field, Billy, and I like that. You know, he's a guy that makes things happen. He's aggressive, and he's a real football player. I like his style.
Well, here go the Jason Sadowski and crew now, as you see Coach Craig Smith trying to make sure they can continue this 7-point lead, as you see some of the numbers for local volleyball teams in St. Ursula. Number 2, behind the only team in the state that beat them. That gave them their only loss, Cincinnati St. Ursula. As Matt Persinger tries to continue the rushing performance. That was about a 9-yard pickup on that very first play as the drive starts from the 29-yard line. Persinger having himself a pretty big night tonight.
Well, what happened, Matt's a good athlete, but I love the block. Look at the kick-out block there. Terrific block, good spin move. I like the way he runs the football. It's excellent.
That play right there ends our third quarter. And it was a pretty profitable third quarter for the Anthony Wayne Generals. They're able to retake the lead, and at the end of 3, our score has the Anthony Wayne Generals on homecoming, leading the Springfield Blue Devils in this big Northern Lakes League contest by a score of 21-14.
Wow. Somebody's letting go today.
It's okay. I had Subway for lunch.
Subway, delicious low-fat sandwiches, so you can feel good about being good and okay about being bad.
It's okay. I had Subway.
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
High school football game of the week is brought to you by The Andersons, more for your home. Subway, eat fresh. Banner Mattress and Furniture, your hometown furniture team for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio. Taz Electronics, Toledo's source for all your mobile video and car stereo equipment. ACP, the Alliance of Construction Professionals. Find out about the other 4-year degree and build your future with us.
Fourth quarter underway. Welcome back, everybody, in the Buckeye Cable System here at Anthony Wayne with Jim Oswald and Tom Cole. I'm Bill Clark. Thanks for joining us. Our entire crew giving you all the pictures of this big Northern Lakes League battle as Seth Holland tries to get around the outside. He might pick up very close to the first down. We'll see where they mark it as the chains are on the other side of the field. That's a very, very big third down play for the Anthony Wayne Generals. And they say, no, you're not there, Seth, so it will be a 4th down coming.
Well, Bill, you know it's a problem with, and Seth needed to cut up inside that. He strung that out too far. The block was up inside, right? Should cut before that man. That lane was up inside. But the problem with this playing against Anthony Wayne, Bill, if you're behind, is that, you know, they eat up so much of the clock, you can't get the ball back. You know, they get in these drives with the wing tee, and it just eats up a whole quarter.
Well, the official first signaled that it was going to be 4th down, and now he decided that he was going to check things out, and they're right. Based on that, they're about maybe a half a yard short. So it will bring up a 4th down. We'll see what Jason Sadowski and company elect to do. Obviously, when you've got Mr. Verbosky in the backfield, it does give you a nice 1 or 2 yard option if you need that, Thomas.
Well, I'd be really surprised, Bill, if they didn't kick the football. It's that would be a pretty gutsy call at this juncture in the game.
Well, you talk about we talked about the rushers and the passers in the Northern Lakes. We've got 7 out of the top 14 scorers in this game as well, Thomas. Chad Mossing from Springfield is number 3. Taylor Taube is number 7. Steve Harvey is number 11. Mr. Persinger is number 4. Seth Holland is number 5. Mr. Kramer for Anthony Wayne is number 8. And Brad Verbosky, although he's one of the leading rushers, is number 14 in scoring. So they're doing it all. A lot of good talent on this football field right here tonight. 10 and 50 and running.
They're just trying
Sadowski looking like to draw him off, and
yeah.
now he's going to have to call a timeout, and they will punt the football.
You know, that's a good call. People get upset with that, but it's a good call, Billy. You try to hard count them and jump them off the line of scrimmage, and the worst case scenario is you call timeout and kick the football.
Well, keep Jim Oswald busy down there. I know he's trying to dodge some raindrops. Now they have a timeout. With that timeout, they're going to check things out to make sure things go, and we will treat you to another sports fact. That was as of yesterday. St. Francis, I believe, did suffer their first defeat. So they are still ranked 12th in the nation. That's amazing. That may drop a little bit, but I'll tell you, that is a heck of a soccer program they got going over there with the other fine programs they have over on Bancroft Street as well. We've got a flag before the snap is made. So I'm not sure if that's going to be delay of game. It came in from the linesman, not from the referee. And normally if the referee, he's the guy with the clock, right?
I'm with you, partner.
All right, so I think somebody must have lined up in the noose. Nope, they're going to call offside against Anthony Wayne. I don't know if Jim Oswald can hear us down there or not. I know he's wandering the sidelines, but he told us a story during halftime, Thomas. I'd like to see if we could get him a chance to tell us about Mr. Vetter, who's back to receive the punt. About the toughness of some of the kids on this particular team. Low snap, but Sadowski with those good hands does get it off. And Mr. Vetter has it at the 33-yard line, and he's going in the wrong direction. And what a nice play right there by Anthony Wayne. Alex Knowles comes back on the special teams and makes a huge play right there. Not a bright move right there by number 10 for the Springfield Blue Devils. Hans Vetter went in the wrong direction, and it cost his team about 15 yards.
Well, Billy, we see it week in and week out, the kicking game.
We're back with more after this. Welcome back to the Buckeye Cable Systems coverage of this Northern Lakes League tilt between the Anthony Wayne Generals and the Springfield Blue Devils. 21-14. After this play, we're going to send it down to Jim Oswald because I want you to relate the story, Ozzie, about Mr. Vetter. You told us at halftime just to show about the toughness of these kids and how important how much they want to stay on the field if possible. Here's a quarterback draw. Steve Harvey's got a blocker in front of him and some running room, and he's finally going to be dragged down. Seth Holden is going to run him down. And let's go down on the field now to Jim Oswald.
Well, Hans Vetter made the play that stopped the first down on the last possession. This whole second half, he's been hobbling around on his ankle. What he did, he sprained his ankle in the first half. They took him off to the sidelines. They're doing some tests on it, turning it. You could tell he was in a little pain, but he kept telling the trainer, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. He wanted to get back in the game. They taped it up. He's back in. He's also doing the punting, but after he punts, he will limp down the field a little bit, and Anthony Wayne did take advantage of that, running to his side a couple times because he is a little bit slower than he was before he sprained that ankle.
All right, Ozzie, we appreciate that, and I know you used to have to probably drag Tom Cole off the field, too, when he got hurt, didn't you, Oz?
We had to drag him on the field.
Well, there's a timeout on the field right now. Ozzie, has the weather changed at all? It looks like it doesn't seem to be raining as hard as it was earlier.
Actually, it is hardly any mist at all, but the wind's picked up about 10 miles per hour, so it's still enjoyable.
Well, I'm sure it looks like you're having a great time down there. We'll take a break and come back. Much more to come on the Buckeye Cable System. 21-14, Anthony Wayne over Springfield. We're back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Buckeye Cable System's coverage of high school football. A big play right there as Steve Harvey hooks up with Taylor Taube, and the goal goes from the 50 all the way down to the 28-yard line of the Anthony Wayne Generals, so the Blue Devils are coming right back into it, Thomas.
I'm sorry, Billy. Yeah, I tell you what, Steve Harvey, I'm really impressed with his abilities. He's, he throws the ball well enough. He gets it done from the passing element, but his running ability, Bill, I would run more of the dive option with Steve Harvey and let him keep the football. He's got tremendous quicks from the quarterback position.
Here's Mr. Taube again with some running room, and he's going to be dragged down. I'll tell you, Matt Grunwald is doing a great job from his monster position in the defensive side of the ball for Anthony Wayne. He made a big hit a little bit earlier in the ball game. He's made several pretty good hits, and you're going to see another one right here.
Yeah, this is a quick dive, just a straight dive, and TNT runs straight ahead. He's had a real nice day.
Talk about Steve Harvey and how well he's running the football, Thomas. 6 carries, 136 yards,
yeah,
and that 75-yard touchdown.
I could give you some Jethro Bodine ciphering on that, but I can tell you this: I'd keep giving him the football. I mean, run the spread formation to the sideline and dive option him and let him keep the football. He's got good speed.
Second down and 5. And Taube's going to get the ball, but he's not going to get much yardage as he's gang tackled as the Anthony Wayne Generals give the Devils a little bit of their own money. And the fans continue to hang around. You see a couple people that this is the old neighborhood, so you see Terry Yoder in evidence as the Yoder Machinery Company, big supporters of Springfield football. And I tell you, the Anthony Wayne side is loaded as well. Some Bumbershoot still out. But I'll tell you, Friday night football, you only get one night to play, Thomas, so
right.
If you want to enjoy it, you're going to have to put up with some bad weather sometimes. So we got 3rd and 5, 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Springfield trying to get back into this one. They trail by 7. Here's Harvey keeping the football. He's going to go into about the 10-yard line, and his intended receiver, Rob Lemle, is going to be disassociated with the football, we shall say.
I kind of like that, Bill. Bill, I'd really like to see Springfield put spread trip to the wide side and run that dive option and let Steve keep the ball to the wide side of the field. If Steve had a corner pattern, if he'd have waited a second, he'd had somebody, the other fellow that just went through the screen was open on the corner, but he had to wait a second.
Well, that stops the clock with 7:57 to go in the ball game. A 4th down and big 5-yard call right now for the Springfield Blue Devils, deep in Anthony Wayne territory. Chris White in motion, and Harvey's going to pass. He's going to get it off, trying to get it to Chad Mossing. He throws it behind him, and the Anthony Wayne Generals defense holds, and they will take over on downs on the 21-yard line of the Generals. Big defensive stand right there, Thomas.
Yeah, Billy, that was a film cover, and by a film cover I meant Steve did a Kansas City half roll to the right, and it was a throwback post to the left. They had that covered right from the get-go. There was no chance for that to go. That's a film cover play. They saw that in the films during the week. They recognized it right away, and they shut it down.
All right, so now the Anthony Wayne Generals, as Tom Cole has mentioned several times tonight, you get that offense on the field, they can chew up a lot of time and yardage, and we'll see if Coach Smith decides to give it to the dump truck and let him pick up a little yardage here and there. Well, he picks up a nice chunk of yardage there, does Mr. Verbosky, and he's finally going to be dragged down. Nice defensive play by the Springfield Blue Devils to drag him down. I tell you, he does not go down easy.
Wait, you know what's funny about him, Bill, is this is just a Just a straight lead play with Robo, but what's funny about him is I was watching a football show today on Zonk on the Classic Sports, and the kid runs just like Zonk. It's a similar kind of build, straight up and down, you know, and he just takes you on. He's not looking to sidestep you, move left, right, zigzag. He's just taking you on, and it's an impressive style.
Well, I'll tell you, our good buddy Mike Bekier for Springfield was the one that kind of hung on for dear life and was able to get Mr. Verbosky down to the ground, and that time they get him down again, and Mr. Bekier's there again. Nice play right there. I want to thank Al Duquette and Paul Holland, the athletic directors from Springfield and Anthony Wayne, respectively, for helping us with the background information that hopefully you're enjoying here on tonight's broadcast. Rather than just tell you how big these kids are, we try to give you a little bit more information about what some of them want to do as they continue down not only their football careers, but their academic careers as well. We mentioned earlier Brad Kramer, the fine slot back, running back, receiver, defensive back for Anthony Wayne. He's also the #1 student in the senior class as well. And Mr. Verbosky, with a couple of Springfield Blue Devils hanging on for dear life, spins forward for about 3 yards on that particular carry.
Well, Bill, as the old coach Al McGuire used to say all the time, and you're a basketball man too, you know that really the opponent here now for Springfield is also the clock, not just Anthony Wayne, because they're eating up a lot of the clock. And a lot of people in the stands might say, geez, why don't you load up the line of scrimmage and stop Verbosky? Well, the problem with that, Bill, is if you load people in the box, you fake the Verbosky and bring one of the wingbacks around and he's running for 60. So that's the problem.
This drive started at the 7:57 mark to go in the ballgame. We're down close to 6 minutes right now, so there's that eating up of the time. Here's Seth Holland trying to go around the right side, and he's going to be wrapped up by number 66 for the Springfield Blue Devils. In on the tackle right there was Patrick Miller, but we've got some flags on the play, so let's sort that out.
You got a hold, Billy, and it's going back.
So that will go against Anthony Wayne, so they will have to reacquire some real estate they have already picked up. As you see Rick Gonzales, the defensive captain, talking to the receiver.
Well, look at the double lead. Look at the double leads they bring, Billy, with the wing back around. And boy, that's that misdirection is just, boy, it just drives you crazy on the defensive side of the ball. Nice shot, double lead. The hold, I didn't see it. I couldn't see it. Came in awful late.
Well, it's a 10-yard penalty, so that'll move the ball back to the 30-yard line. They've got to get up to their own 43-yard line for a first down. So I'm guessing that's 13 yards. So 2nd and 13, Thomas, is that how you cipher that?
Don't ask me. I still
I hate to catch you off guard without your cipher.
I got an open degree at a Wesleyan yet. It's still not kind of finished up, so don't ask me.
Twins to the left, and that's the way Jason Sadowski rolls. Doesn't see anybody, so he'll tuck and run, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the of a first down.
Well, Billy, Jason did a great job that time. He didn't force a ball that wasn't there. He got positive yardage. They can come back and try and pick up a first down. The only thing that Jason's going to get schooled on in the film is you don't step out of bounds. Now watch, there's nothing really there in the passing game. Good block on the outside. He's going to tuck it. Now stay in bounds, Jason. Don't go out of bounds.
I'm not sure he could have stayed in bounds.
Well,
I think he had a nice set of help there from
he
Marcus.
He got help, but what
Marcus
you do, Bill,
Mullins.
is you cut before that man and you keep the clock running.
So it's 3rd down and 3 if the Anthony Wayne Generals want to continue this drive. This time Twins go to the right side. In the slot is Seth Holland, and Sadowski rolls toward that way. Dumps it off. Mr. Persinger has the catch, and we'll see where they mark it. And I don't think they got a real good spot right there, Thomas.
Well, you know, they always say which foot. Is it a front foot or a back foot?
I don't think this isn't a left or right foot. I think he caught it almost close to the 45-yard line, and when he got tackled, they pushed him back.
They marked it on the momentum, yeah.
I bet you if we see that again in the truck, if they can run that from the high angle, you'll see that he really caught that very close to the 45-yard line, so not a very good spot. As if you're an Anthony, and thanks, guys.
Well,
you'll see it right here.
All right, you get a quick little sprint out right. Again,
now, when he gets hit is where he needs to go down, and he's right by the 45.
Yeah.
They mark him where he falls.
You're right,
and that's
Billy.
not where he should go.
They took the pile momentum, and that's where they marked the football.
And I think the officials are talking about that right now, Thomas. Maybe they heard us.
Well, these gentlemen have done a great job all night long, and it's been a very
it's
well played.
It's adverse conditions for them, too.
Sure.
We have to remember that as well.
It's been a well-played football game on both sides.
And they did give them the first down, so the officials talked it over, as good officials will do, and now the officials are coming over to explain it to Craig Smith. And they did. They marked it where they should have rather than where he landed, because his forward progress was right where the ball was. And that's a good play by Matt Persinger, too, from the standpoint that he got as far as he did. He knew where the stick was, just in case he had to come back for the football, which he did. And the yard that he came back still got him over the first down mark.
Hey, there are a lot of guys in the NFL making millions of dollars that can't run the first down on the chain. You know, they come up short. So that was a heady football play.
5:27 left in the ball game now. 17 first downs in the ball game for Anthony Wayne. And I'll tell you, Thomas, if you want to chew up yardage, that's a pretty good way to do it.
Yep.
Sadowski now hands it off to Verbosky, and he's going to get spun around, but not before he picks up about 5 yards on that carry. So the big dump truck continues to pick up huge yardage for the Anthony Wayne Generals, and not only is he picking up huge yardage, he's keeping that clock moving, as you can see right there as we approach 5 minutes to go in the ballgame. This drive started at 7:57, so almost a 3-minute drive right now in the books right now for the Anthony Wayne Generals, and they've got that huge 7-point lead, and it's getting huger by the second. Verbosky, 34 carries, 170 yards unofficially in the ballgame.
That's a man's work. 34 carries. That's a man's work that day.
Well, he's going to try to add some more to it, and he's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe they'll give him 1 yard. Let's go downstairs. Jim Oswald in the rain and cold.
Phil, Tom, it's balmy down here. What are you talking about? Hey, one thing I've noticed on this drive is that Springfield, not every play, but about every other, maybe 2 out of 3, when they're tackling, they're starting to grab and pull instead of tackling through, starting to show little signs of fatigue against the Generals here.
All right, Ozzie, we appreciate that. We mentioned earlier in the ballgame that Springfield tends to give up a lot of points in the fourth quarter, and that could be one of the reasons they do, is because the guys get tired. Their defense has been on the field an awful long time tonight, Thomas.
Yeah, if you're a little undersized, that will happen to you, Bill. If you're on the field a long time, that will happen to you. And a good back makes you tackle that way, too. I mean, quite honestly.
It's 3rd and 4. Sadowski is not going to get the first down. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Nice play right there, number 56 on the defense for the Springfield Blue Devils. Brad Phillips was in there, as also, I believe, number 86 was involved as well. That's Marcus Mullins, one of the defensive tackles, 6'4", 265. And right here, Mr. Sadowski got nowhere to go, Thomas.
Yep, little sprint out, and he's looking, and he can't, of course, they got tremendous pressure on him. He did the right thing. He didn't force the football. It didn't fumble it, didn't turn it over, and lived to punt it and rely on your defense to try and secure the game.
Well, 3:20, the clock continues to run, and the Anthony Wayne Generals in no hurry whatsoever to get this punt off, as Sadowski's going to wait until he can go down almost to the end of the 25-second clock. And now they did call. They did get a delay of game. I don't see a flag here. Yep.
Yeah, he ran it down. But, you know, really, Billy.
But a punt doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't, no, because you're going to punt anyways. You've run it down as far as it'll go, and they're figuring that he's a pretty good kicker, and the 5 yards isn't going to make that.
Well, he also has the wind behind him, too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
He'll pick up that 5 yards if he can get any kind of punt. He's been doing very well.
Yep.
Jason Sadowski, one of the best punters. Next week, the Northview Wildcats and the Southview Cougars will do battle here on the Buckeye Cable System. Andy Sanzato, Tom Cole, and Jim Oswald will bring you all the action. And I'll tell you, when you need a booming kick right there, Jason Sadowski did exactly what he needed. The ball goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So the Springfield Blue Devils need a touchdown with 3:02 to go, and they are 73 yards away from Nirvana right now.
Well, Billy, Coach Smith just gave Jason a high five and said, nice job, because that's a terrific punt, and yes, absolutely. Terrific punt. It made the call of taking the delay look pretty good. Gosh darn good.
Boy, he hit that well, too. Nice spiral.
He's a good athlete. He's a very good athlete.
So we'll see what Steve Harvey, who's also a very good athlete, can do with the Springfield Blue Devils. Now, Harvey broke off a 75-yard touchdown run in the game's first play. Has over 130 yards rushing, trying to add a few yards there, but he is going to be gang tackled as the play kind of dissolved right at his face, Thomas, and Harvey had nowhere to go.
Well, you know, just what you said, Bill, the Anthony Wayne defense is thinking. They're not going to let Steve Harvey run a dive option keep for 75 yards. So they keyed on Steve, and they're not going to let him beat them. Somebody else is going to have to do it.
2:35 and running. Besides the Anthony Wayne defense, the clock is also on the wrong side for the Springfield Blue Devils right now. As you see, he's got, he being Mr. Harvey, twins trips to the left, we should say, and rolls that way, gets it off, and it's tipped. Big number 47 for the Anthony Wayne Generals, Sean Abbey, one of the linebackers, stuck his big mid up there and knocked that one down before it could get completed.
Well, Billy, I could have helped Steve on this one because I've seen a million of those. Those are oh-no plays when I was playing quarterback. When you go out there and you call the play, you know it's a pass, and it was an obvious pass with the trips. And a couple of the receivers are looking at one another, pointing at one another, and they're not lined up right. That's one you go, oh, no, this is not going to work, and it was total confusion.
Well, split out to the right is Kyle Tonjes, and they've got trips to the left again. Steve Harvey back, 3rd and 10. And he is going to be buried. He is going to be buried. What a great defensive play. Tim Babcock from his defensive tackle position, 5'11", 170-pound junior, makes a huge defensive play for the Generals right there and sacks Mr. Harvey about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That'll make it now 3rd. Make it, check that. A timeout's being called by the Springfield Blue Devils.
Well, Billy, that was the Kansas City half roll right. Steve planted, and he was going to do a throwback post left, and he never got a chance to. That kind of pass play takes some time, and he never had a chance to deliver the football.
Well, a big play right there by Tim Babcock. We haven't called his number much, but with the gang tackling that's going on, I think a lot of kids tonight are going to get tackles credited to them just because they were there at the point of attack.
Billy, this has been a well-played football game on both sides of the line of scrimmage. These are two good football teams, two well-coached teams, and this is real solid, fundamental football.
Anthony Wayne trying to get their second win in the league. If they can hang on to this one, they'll go to 2-2. Springfield will drop to 2-2. And I'll tell you, there are some big numbers being put up by both offenses tonight here at Anthony Wayne. 1:58 to go in the ball game. 4th and 17. This is the ball game for the Springfield Blue Devils. They've got to get a pretty good chunky yardage, and here comes Mr. Harvey, and he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it. The Generals will take over on downs as Harvey comes up way short of the first down marker, and Anthony Wayne will take over on their Springfield 24-yard line with 1:51 to go, and they've got a 7-point lead.
Well, I'll tell you what, Billy, some small college team that runs the option better be looking at Steve Harvey because he could be a terrific Division III college quarterback running the option. He's got great skills, great awareness, and tremendous poise. He's played his heart out tonight. If I was Springfield and Coach Demars, I might look in at a double wide slot shotgun, drop him back and run a quarterback draw on occasion and just let him pick the hole and go.
Well, let's see what happens with the Anthony Wayne Generals. You know those backs are going to be wrapping up the football big time. And the ball is given off to Verbosky trying to go around the right side, and he's going to be dragged down after a gain of about 2 yards.
The only thing I don't like about that trap play, that they've run that quite a few times tonight with Robo Billy, is again, he's running sideways at the line of scrimmage, and it deletes a lot of his power. He's best when you get him going, as you've been saying appropriately all night long, the dump truck going straight ahead. You get that kid going straight ahead, and he's a load.
Got Matt Persinger there. You saw him on the sidelines. He also a big game tonight for the Springfield Blue Devils, as did our good buddy, or I should say for the Anthony Wayne Generals, as Mr. Verbosky does too. This is Seth Holland, and he's going to go down to about the 12-yard line with 1 minute to go in the ball game. The Anthony Wayne Generals with the only score of the second half, a 1-yard Brad Verbosky run that stopped a 60-yard drive with 1:55 left in the third quarter. They went for 2 and got it, and as a result, they've got themselves a 21-14 lead, and we've got Steve Harvey playing safety on defense, and I don't know whether he's cramping up or maybe just got that bent the wrong way, Thomas.
Yeah, that's not normally a cramp when they're doing that. I hope that's what it is. But
we'll remind you next week, our TV Buckeye Cable System crew will be out at Sylvania, where the Northview Wildcats will take on the Southview Cougars. Andy Sanzato will be filling in for yours truly. Tom Cole and Jim Oswald and our entire crew will be there to bring you the Battle of Sylvania, as you see Steve Harvey shaking up on that last play, and looks like he's gotten some problems with his right leg, Thomas.
Yeah, they're what they're doing with his knee, Billy, is I've had that done before. They're checking for movement in the knee. If the knee is too loose, then something's wrong, and that's what they were doing. And that's a knee injury, not a cramp.
Some of the other games being played tonight: Waite takes on Bowser, Central's at Whitmer, Libby takes on Clay, St. John's travels to Rogers, and Scott will take on St. Francis over at Waite. Tomorrow, Stark takes on Woodward as those 5-1 Polar Bears looking for a little revenge against Coach Pat Cucciardo Jr. last year, as they put a whooping on the Polar Bears last year.
What goes around comes around, Bill, and that's.
We'll see what happens over at Woodward tomorrow at 1:30. Southview and Maumee battling for first place in the Northern Lakes League tonight, along with this Springfield Anthony Wayne game. Bowling Green's at Rossford, and Perrysburg is at Northview. 35 seconds to go. This is Brandon Kramer trying to get around the right end, and he does, and he's dragged down at the 10-yard line. And that'll stop the clock with the first down. They'll move the chains and start things up. The Springfield Blue Devils will fall to 2-2, and the Anthony Wayne Generals will move up to 2-2 in the league after this one is over, which is about 37 seconds away. Stay with us for the post-game show. We'll be awarding our Subway MVP. Jim Oswald will visit with the winning coach, and we'll wrap this one up for you on homecoming night. From Anthony Wayne, as Jason Sadowski just looks at the clock, and this is a nice
classy move by Coach Smith. That is first class. It's been a great game, well played on both sides. There's no need to hammer in one more. That is a very classy move, Coach.
Well, they're going to have to take one more play and take a knee probably, because they set the ball. The officials set the ball too quick. So it is a delay of game if they would have just waited a couple seconds
and Coach
before
Smith
they set the ball.
He's
so it's no
telling
big
his
deal.
quarterback to take a knee. We're not going to try and score, and that's very classy. That's what sportsmanship is about, and, boy, it speaks a lot for the coach and his staff and his kids.
Well, there's a lot of classy coaches in this area. The kids are good, too.
The kids are great, and I hope Steve Harvey's all right. Kid's played his heart out tonight, and I certainly hope that his knee's okay.
Well, we'll see if we can find that out before we go off the air tonight, as Sadowski will step back, take the knee, and that is the ball game. The Anthony Wayne Generals celebrate homecoming in fine fashion as they come back from a 14-13 halftime deficit, score the only touchdown in the second half, get the 2-point conversion, and they win it by a final score of 21-14. And Thomas, I tell you, this is what we talked about coming up in this ball game today, was the fact that we were going to see a lot of ground work with both these teams, because they've got two very good running games. But again, the passing game was there too, but with the weather, the coaches decided to take things to the ground.
Well, Billy, they're just mirrored offenses. I mean, both teams have a myriad of excellent running backs. They can throw the ball effectively also. Both these teams are going to score a lot of points. They're potent offenses, and they're kind of mirrored each other all night long.
Well, you looked at the first half stats, 157 to 156. You said the passing yardage
was identical.
It was almost identical. So from that standpoint, you really got to believe that these two teams were mirror images, and they were separated at the end by just one touchdown. And we are waiting for Jim Oswald to grab Craig Smith and get a couple comments from the Anthony Wayne head coach. A very good ball game, well played on both sides of the ball, Thomas. Very few penalties, and the penalties that they were just pretty much offsides. We didn't have any
no personal fouls, no unsportsmanlike, no late hits. It's just fundamentally sound, good, hard, solid, classy football.
Congratulations to the Springfield Blue Devils. A very well-played game, and to the Anthony Wayne Generals, who will go home at homecoming. And you always want to have a win for homecoming, and that's exactly what they did. And you want to make sure that you do get a homecoming win. And we again want to congratulate Brooke Lingo, who was named the homecoming queen this year. So she's happy. Her date happened to win the homecoming king, so they got the double. They got the daily double, I guess, Thomas, is what we'll call it.
I heard Ozzie was in contention. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Maybe for I'm not even going to go there. But Craig Smith, you can see him. He's amongst the revelry down there with the Anthony Wayne Generals as they celebrate this 21-14 win. And now he is being escorted over to our broadcast location on the field, and our Jim Oswald will have a couple words with him. And I got to believe, Thomas, he may be a little bit more happy now than he was when he visited with Jim a little earlier in the program.
Yeah, the two-word interview previously, I think so.
But there you see the Springfield Blue Devils. Again, congratulations to them. A very well-played game. They've got nothing to hang their heads about. They played a great ball game. But tonight, with Brad Verbosky and Jason Sadowski and Matt Persinger, they just ran up against an Anthony Wayne team that started to do a lot of things well, and it got them, they being Anthony Wayne, a huge victory that leveled everything at 2-2 as far as both teams. Springfield now 2-2 in the league, Anthony Wayne now 2-2 in the league as well. So I think we've got Jim Oswald tying things up downstairs. Craig Smith continues to get congratulations from passers-by here at Anthony Wayne. Let's go down in the field with Jim Oswald. Ozzie?
Thanks, Bill. Tom, we're with Coach Smith. Coach, congratulations on a nice win. Again, we talked a little bit at halftime. They came out, get a quick score. You guys don't lose composure. They take the lead just before half. You come out in the second half with great composure and pretty much dominate the second half.
Yeah, we challenged our kids at halftime after they scored, in the last minute of the first half, and our kids responded. I'm really proud of them to get a homecoming win. It's good for our kids.
Keeps you in playoff contention.
Right. I'm not a genius with the points, but they had a lot of points. I think they were 4th or 5th in the region, so that'll move us up. And 3 games left, a lot can happen.
Coach, enjoyable doing these games in the NNL because you can tell the quality coaching that's here. Congratulations to you and a great job your kids did today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Tom, Bill, great effort by the Generals tonight. We're trying to get, there he comes right over here, our MVP of the game. Congratulations on a great win. He's breathing a little heavy, believe it or not. Can you believe that, Tom?
Well, hey, Ozzie asked Robo for Billy and I, is he tired at all?
They want to know if you're tired. I mean, you didn't get the ball too much.
A little tired.
Hey, Ozzie, unofficially, you can tell Brad we had him for 36 carries, 173 yards, and those 3 touchdowns.
36 carries, 173 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Is that one of your better nights?
Yeah, it's one of my better nights of the season. Backs carried out their fakes really well. Line blocked great the whole game. Just got it done.
You guys, you got down early. You kept your composure. What did Coach tell you at halftime after they came back and took the lead again?
Just to pick it up, we knew what we had to do. Been working hard all week and just came out and got it done.
Anything else for him, Tom, Bill?
Hey Ozzie,
yes.
Ask Robo if he knows who Larry Zonka is.
Do you know who Larry Zonka is? Tom Cole wants to know.
Yeah.
He said, don't look at him. We're going to, anything else from upstairs?
No, let him go back and get a shower and relax, get out of the rain.
Okay, get out of the rain, go warm up, take a good shower, have a good weekend, and congratulations being the Subway MVP.
Thanks.
All right.
Ozzie, thanks so much. We'll join you down on the field in just a couple of minutes. We'll wrap things up from Anthony Wayne, where tonight on homecoming, the Generals defeat Springfield 21-14. We're back to wrap this from Anthony Wayne right after this in the Buckeye Cable System.
The Andersons, more for your home.
Get ready now for the cold weather ahead during the Andersons winterizing days. There's a quality Owens Corning insulation for every project, a weather-tight Anderson window to fit every opening, and a heater for every size room. Save on window kits, caulks, and weather stripping, all at guaranteed everyday low prices.
The Andersons, more for your home.
Wow, somebody's letting go today.
It's okay. I had Subway for lunch.
Subway, delicious low-fat sandwiches, so you can feel good about being good and okay about being bad.
It's okay. I had Subway.
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
High school football game of the week is brought to you by The Andersons, more for your home. Subway, eat fresh. Banner Mattress and Furniture, your hometown furniture team for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio. Taz Electronics, Toledo's source for all your mobile video and car stereo equipment. ACP, the Alliance of Construction Professionals. Find out about the other 4-year degree and build your future with us.
Welcome back to Anthony Wayne, everybody. It's a happy homecoming for the Generals as they win at 21-14 over the Springfield Blue Devils. Welcome back to a chilly and damp Anthony Wayne football stadium. I'm Bill Clark. Tom Cole is here. Keith Moorings. We finally were able to get him out of the tailgate tent. Katie Horn handling our homecoming court interviews, and of course Jim Oswald doing everything on the sidelines to try to stay warm and give us a view of what's happening from the field. But Ozzie, I tell you, this was a cruncher to say the least.
Absolutely. I think the big thing was the line play for Anthony Wayne took over in the second half. They kept their composure when they fell behind, and it paid off in the end with a nice win.
I'll tell you, Thomas, the line play was great, but opened up some huge holes for Mr. Verbosky.
Well, we talked about it all night long, Billy. Robo is tough. He took it 37 times and had big-time yardage, and he was a difference maker.
Only one score in the second half, and that was the winning score for the Anthony Wayne Generals. Let's take a look at the final numbers, and I would assume they were awful close at halftime. They're probably relatively close here at the end of the game. 272 net yards, Ozzie, for Anthony Wayne on the ground, 196 for Springfield.
Ball control the second half. Anthony Wayne got the second ball in the second half, kept it, gave it to Springfield a couple times, got it back, kept it again, and that was a big difference in the yardage.
I know, Tom, this will make you sad, but the passing yards, 60 for Springfield, 59 for Anthony Wayne.
You know what, though, Billy? I enjoyed the play tonight. It was so fundamentally sound, and the quarterbacks were terrific in the execution of that offense. It was thoroughly enjoyable.
Well, we called his number all night long, number 45 for the Anthony Wayne Generals. You met him just a couple minutes ago with Jim Oswald. He's our Subway MVP. Brad Verbosky having a huge night tonight, and you're going to see some of the work that he did right here. He had 3 touchdowns on the night, and he ran for a ton of yardage as well, and he picks up a foot-long sub from the Subway sandwich shops in Northwest Ohio. 36 carries for 173 yards for Mr. Verbosky, and he is our Subway MVP. And I tell you, Ozzie, from ground level, he had to be fun to watch.
Absolutely, because you saw him get the ball, make moves, follow his blockers. As Tom talked about the whole game, he followed the blockers, and that was a key, and he made some good power runs, didn't try to dance, ran over people.
We're going to stay in the Northern Lakes League next week. We got a good one for you. It's the Battle of Sylvania as the Northview Wildcats take on the Southview Cougars. Andy Sanzado will take care of my position next week. I will be, as they say, on assignment, but Tom Cole and Jim Oswald will be here. So will Keith Moorings, and so will Katie Horn. So everybody will be ready to bring you that big ball game next Friday night. It'll be the Northview Wildcats against the Southview Cougars. Guys, a real quick final comment.
Great ball game. Northern Lakes League football has been a lot of fun to watch so far this year.
Tommy?
Tackling Verbosky's like tackling an elm tree. He's tough. He's a tough kid.
All right, for Keith Moorings, Tom Cole, Jim Oswald, and Katie Horn, I'm Bill Clark. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Once again, our final score tonight, Anthony Wayne 21, Springfield 14. Have a good night, everybody.